Christmas starts here at H&L Rapid True Value. Get Christmas ready by shopping the latest in our catalog. The time brought to you by H&L Rapid True Value is...
Nationwide time, 5 o'clock.
Crisp and refreshing. Room temperature or chilled. A Pure Water would drink. The temperature by Pure Water is...
25 degrees Celsius in Kingston, 26 out west in Montego Bay.
From the Nationwide News Network, comprehensive, incisive, tough. This is Nationwide at 5.
Good afternoon, I'm Cliff Hughes.
And I'm Robianne Williams.
In Nationwide News at this hour, tell the police what you know about this dastardly act and get $30 million.
That's the call from Prime Minister Andrew Holness following yesterday's mass killing in the Waltham Park area of St. Andrew.
We have increased that reward fund to $30 million to deal with any of these multiple victim violent incidents. Anyone who has any information that is valuable to us, let us know. Please tell us. You can also benefit from a reward.
Murders are down by 17% across the country as of November 23.
The PNP says plans announced by the government to cushion cost of living affecting Jamaicans are last-ditch attempts to drum up election support.
Mark Golding, the opposition leader, says he's unfazed by the JLP's Everett Warmington's racially charged attacks against him.
The JLP's attempts to use my color as a political battering ram smacks of desperation.
In news from the rest of the world, Guyanese government presents financial paper for $100,000 cash grant.
Israel and Lebanon agree ceasefire deal.
In headline sports, Sunshine and England Roses clash in winner-take-all 4-match netball series in Kingston tonight.
And later in our broadcast, in our cover story at 5:35, following Monday's mass killing of Waltham Park Road, Prime Minister Holness says gangs that are being protected by communities is a key concern for national security.
They have made themselves almost invisible to the community, but they are there. And it is important that the communities realize that at any time they can raise their ugly head.
You'll hear more.
In public opinion at 6:26, we ask, what's your reaction to plans to cancel debts to the NWC? Give us your comments by logging on to our Facebook page, Nationwide News Network, and by tweeting us at Nationwide Radio. And message us on WhatsApp at 876-285-5693. You can also leave your comments on Instagram at Nationwide 90FM.
And in the nation's business at 6:40, the opposition leader says the Prime Minister's promised reduction in GCT for electricity bills will accrue to the wealthy and not those who need it. It's his opposition spokesman on energy, Philip Paulwell, will join us.
And at 9 p.m., it's Affairs of the Heart with Rodney Campbell.
All these and more as we take you home on air on your mobile, Nationwide 90 FM, Nationwide Radio, jm.com, and on the Nationwide app, available in Google Play and the App Store. This Tuesday afternoon, it's Tuesday, November 26, 2024.
If it's news, it's got to be Nationwide 90 FM.
Now to the details. Prime Minister Andrew Holness says a $30 million reward is available to anyone with information about Monday night's mass killing in the Waltham Park area of Lower St. Andrew. He was speaking while on a tour of the area on Tuesday morning with National Security Minister Dr. Horace Chang and Commissioner of Police Dr. Kevin Blake. Monday night's mass shooting left 5 men dead at 85 Lane off Waltham Park Road. Kalisa Wright reports.
Prime Minister Andrew Holness is urging anyone with information about this latest fatal mass shooting to share that information with police.
When the Cherry Tree Lane incident occurred, we had put up a $25 million reward fund. We have increased that reward fund to $30 million. That fund has been repurposed to deal with any of these incidents that occur, any of these multiple victim violent incidents that occur. Any resident, any citizen, anyone who has any information that is valuable to us in leading to the arrest or giving us information that would lead to the degrading of the gangs. That information would be obviously treated with the care to protect your identity and your security. but you can also benefit from a reward from this fund. So if you have information, let us know. Please tell us.
4 men were killed when gunmen opened fire at 85 Lane off Waltham Park Road, Kingston 11 on Monday. The police say another man who was also shot in the incident remains in hospital in critical condition. One other man was also shot dead in another shooting incident at 75 Lane, also off Waltham Park. Both shooting incidents happened just after 7 p.m. Videos circulated on social media showed the bodies lying on the roadway. The police have not yet released the identities of the men or a motive for the killings. Prime Minister Holness says the perpetrators will be brought to justice.
We are examining the law to see what other penalties, what other deterrents can be placed in the law to prevent criminals and criminal-minded people in gangs to commit these kinds of acts. But in the interim, in the meantime, from an operational perspective, the police can mobilize resources to deal with the problem. So the persons who committed this act, mark my words, you will be found. And as I've said before, I'll say it again, you will either meet a judge or you will meet your mate. Anyone who commits these acts, the police will target you. We will focus on you. We will bring our investigative capabilities to bear, and we will find you and you will get justice.
And National Security Minister Dr. Horace Chang says the police will have the full backing of the ministry to apprehend the killers. He says efforts will be made at the legislative level to address mass killings.
The ministry will do everything required to support the police in the efforts to apprehend these brutal criminals. The increased incidence of multiple victim events is of concern, and they'll be looking at the entire criminal justice system to see how we can strengthen it, deal with these kind of characters. Not only giving the police support, but to ensure that the criminal justice system have the legislative framework to deal with this kind of criminal terrorist that is emerging. Individuals here, as the Commission indicated, are humble, hard-working Jamaicans who are having a game of domino. Any of us could have been sitting here last night with them. It's an area that has had a period of relative quiet, and it reflects the brutal action of these individuals to attack these humble Jamaicans.
Khaleesi Wright for Nationwide News.
Meanwhile, Commissioner of Police Dr. Kevin Blake says they believe that the two incidents which occurred are related.
I want to take the opportunity on behalf of the wider JCF to offer our condolences to the victims of the five victims of this senseless murder that took place last night, 2 incidents that we believe are related. This is now another one of an unprecedented number of multiple victims, violent incident that we've seen across the country in recent times. By way of update, I would like to just assure the public that we have been quite relentless. These types of incidents require a different and more strident response, and it has been receiving that type of response so far.
Dr. Kevin Blake, Commissioner of Police.
Meanwhile, the Jamaica Constabulary Force, the JCF, says the country continues to record a decline in murders. According to its latest statistics, murders are down by 17% since the beginning of the year. The JCF says 1,039 people were killed as at November 23. That's 223 fewer people killed than the corresponding period last year. St. James remains the police division with the most murders, 117. But that figure is still lower than the corresponding period last year. At that time, the parish had recorded 171 murders. St. James is followed by the St. Andrew South Police Division with 107 murders. Manchester, St. Andrew Central and St. Andrew North also decreases in homicides for the period. Portland continues to record the least number of murders, 12. Meanwhile, shootings have also declined by 9%, coming in at 918 as at November 23. Other major crimes such as robberies, rapes and break-ins also decline.
The opposition PNP is attempting to pick apart the plans announced by Andrew Holness' administration to cushion cost of living increases affecting Jamaicans. The Prime Minister announced a raft of measures to help Jamaicans who are struggling. However, the opposition was quick to dismiss many of the plans as either poorly thought out or limited in their impact. During a media briefing on Tuesday, they dismissed the measures as a last-ditch attempt to drum up election support.
On Sunday, the Prime Minister attempted to win over many disgruntled voters by announcing several programs to reduce the cost of living burden. Chief among them was a proposed GCT reduction in electricity from 15% to 7%. This is to take effect in the new fiscal year. However, PNP General Secretary Dr. Dayton Campbell says this will amount to very little for the average Jamaican.
When I look at what my electricity bill is, my bill came to $15,500. I look at how much GCT I'm paying, and it is $993. The 53% saving that I will get on a monthly basis is $547 Jamaican for the month. $547 Jamaican. It is the same as a pound of carrot at Losushan. 1 pound of carrot is what the government is offering to me as a productive citizen, as an attempt to say that they are cushioning the crisis.
And opposition spokesman on energy Philip Paulwell was also critical of the announcement. He says the government has failed in its management of the country's electrical infrastructure.
Our solution, give power to the people, to democratize electricity, to recognize the power of solar, and also to negotiate a new license with the JPSCO. We, when the time comes for our manifesto to be revealed, will show to Jamaicans that there's tremendous hope for the future with lower electricity prices. The party leader has already commented on the reduction that was announced by the Prime Minister of GCT from 15 to 7%. The GCT reduction disproportionately benefits high-income earners. More than 75% of households will experience minimal relief, with savings capped at about $237 per month.
And opposition spokesman on water, Ian Hales, also sought to rubbish the announced debt write-offs for delinquent customers of the National Water Commission.
The announcement on Sunday in regards to water we regard as a knee-jerk reaction. This wasn't a decision which was taken by the board of the NWC before the Prime Minister came and made those announcements. The NWC has 547,321 customers. Of that amount, 350,000 is in delinquent in some way, shape, or form. It leaves just 197,000 citizens or customers of the NWC that are paying the water bill for everybody else in this country. So from the 197,000 citizens or customers of the NWC, our teachers, firemen, police, farmers, nurses, taxi drivers, and even some of the current pensioners will not see any benefit from what was announced on Sunday.
Overall, the PNP says the promised plans by Prime Minister Holness are a crude and desperate attempt to win an election.
And in a quick response to Mr. Hales, the National Water Commission, NWC, has rubbished his claims. In a statement a short while ago, the NWC says its board was consulted by the government prior to the Prime Minister's announcement of debt write-offs for delinquent customers. It also says it was given the opportunity to provide feedback and to strengthen the policy direction. The NWC says the Prime Minister's announcement is an extension of its receivables management plan currently operating in Portmore. It says its board is in full support of the plan as a means of easing the burden of the cost of living for Jamaicans while providing greater access to water.
You're listening to Nationwide News at 5. Still ahead, the central bank is projecting a quick rebound of the Jamaican economy following its recent decline.
Value Drug Pharmacy offers curbside pickup and delivery of your branded and generic drugs. WhatsApp your prescription to 876-881-6695. The time by Value Drug Pharmacy is
14 minutes after 5.
Rentokil Initial offers air purification solutions with triple filtration and unique auto-sensing capabilities that neutralizes malodor and replaces it with clean air. Call Rentokil Initial at 926-4236 for more details.
The temperature by Rentokil is
25 degrees Celsius in Kingston, 26 out west in Montego Bay.
It's Shocks Depot is having a pre-Christmas clearance sale with massive discounts on all shocks and struts for all vehicles. Installation and wheel alignment available, plus warranty on all shocks and struts. Contact or visit Shocks Depot at 79 Hagley Park Road. Telephone 876-649-0238 and call or WhatsApp 876-509-0076. Shocks Depot. Our products are durable, comfortable, and affordable.
Continuing the news, the Bank of Jamaica, the BOJ, is projecting a rapid rebound of the Jamaican economy following the recent decline. The BOJ Governor, Richard Biles, is forecasting between 1 to 3% growth for the island in the next fiscal year.
In relation to demand conditions for financial year 24-25, the bank projects that the change in real economic activity will fall in the range of -1% to positive 0.5%, while real GDP for the financial year 25-26 is projected to grow by between 1 and 3%. The outlook for financial year 25-26 reflects the view that there will be a fairly rapid rebound in economic activity following the declines of financial years 24-25.
It's estimated the economy declined by nearly 3% in the July to September quarter, with a further potential contraction for the fiscal year. This was primarily due to weather-related shocks. Meanwhile, the governor, Mr. Biles, noted that inflation has continued to trend down, staying firmly within the central bank's target range of 4 to 6%. However, he's warning that there's some degree of uncertainty on the horizon. This is due to potential changes in the political and economic policies of Jamaica's main trading partner, the United States.
The current outlook for inflation is lower than the previous forecast that was shared with you in August 2024. This downward revision mainly reflects lower transport-related and processed food price inflation. However, the balance of risk to the inflation forecasts are skewed to the upside, which means that inflation is likely to be above the forecast. There is increased uncertainty related to potential economic policy changes among Jamaica's main trading partners, which could have adverse implications for investment and remittance inflows, as well as inflation expectations in Jamaica.
Richard Biles, Governor of the Bank of Jamaica. He was speaking during a quarterly media briefing on Monday.
Minister of Finance and the Public Service, Favour Williams, says more than 290,000 Jamaicans have benefited from the reverse income tax initiative launched by the government. Addressing the House of Representatives on Tuesday, she says this represents a $6 billion tax return to the Jamaican people.
From October until November 29, 2024, some 290,912 taxpayers earning $3 million or less would have received their individual $20,000 tax giveback, totaling some $5.8 billion. Mr. Speaker, it is worth noting that the $5.8 billion from the reverse income tax credit is a first in Jamaica's history.
The reverse income tax credit provides $20,000 to each Jamaican earning $3 million or less annually. Over 500,000 Jamaicans are eligible to apply for the scheme, which expires on December 2. Mrs. Williams is urging those who've yet to do so to sign up.
Let me remind members of this honorable House that eligible individuals who have not yet applied can still do so, as the deadline is Monday, December 2nd, 2024. And Mr. Speaker, let me say that this is no pasa. It's legit. It is legit. It is how this government is caring for its citizens.
Fayval Williams, Minister of Finance and the Public Service.
Opposition leader Mark Golding says he is unfazed by the recent racially charged attacks leveled against him by some senior members of the JLP. He says it's a desperate attempt to distract from their failures.
I'm a born Jamaican. I didn't choose my skin color and no one chooses their skin color. I'm a loyal Jamaican, a patriotic Jamaican, and I'm giving of myself to serve people of Jamaica. I think that the JLP's attempts to use my color as a political battering ram smacks of desperation on their part. It is unprecedented. I don't think any political leader has faced what I have been facing in this regard. And it is because they see that this tide has turned against them, and the people of Jamaica are fed up with them, the dishonesty, the lack of integrity, and a government which pursues policies that don't benefit the people in a direct way. So people have lost hope, people want change. And I suppose I'm the embodiment of that as the leader of the opposition, and therefore they're trying to attack me.
Mr. Golding says the lack of condemnation from the leadership of the JLP is also telling.
This is a sad turn of events, and I'm very disappointed in the leadership of the Jamaica Labour Party that they tacitly encourage this kind of behavior, because to me it indicates a lack of principle on their part. And Jamaica's part of the family of nations. We live in a world which is very connected, and other countries, other races of people are looking on and saying, how is it that the government of Jamaica is allowing a junior minister or a former minister, 2 MPs, to be using racial taunts and slurs as a source of attacking a political opponent? It's very bad form, and it's unfortunate for Jamaica, and it really needs to stop.
Opposition leader Mark Golding.
World in a Minute is brought to you by ABC Electrical Sales. We make things as easy as ABC. Hose Assembly and Supply, equipping Jamaica for success.
And Charles O'Connor Consulting Network, COCN, driven by international accounting standards, modern technology, and integrity.
The World in a Minute.
The Guyanese government has tabled a financial paper seeking parliamentary approval for $84.1 billion for the period ending December 31. Foremost among the support required is the Assembly's approval of $60 billion to pay out the $100,000 cash grant promised for each adult citizen. President Dr. Irfan Ali tabled the paper on Monday. He announced the grant in October. Since then, there's been much public discourse on when the sum will be paid out.
Israel has approved a ceasefire agreement with Lebanon's Hezbollah, setting the stage for an end to nearly 14 months of fighting linked to the ongoing war in the Gaza Strip. The announcement was made on Tuesday by U.S. President Joe Biden. Hours before the announcement, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said his government was ready for a ceasefire but would respond forcefully to any violation of a deal. President Biden says the deal will take effect at 4 Wednesday morning. He noted that over the next 60 days, Israel will gradually withdraw its remaining forces from Lebanon. Biden added that if Hezbollah breaks the agreement, Israel has a right to self-defense in accordance with international law. Hezbollah and Israel have traded cross-border fire since October 2023.
World in a Minute was brought to you by ABC Electrical Sales. We make things as easy as ABC. Hose Assembly and Supply, equipping Jamaica for success.
And Charles O'Connor Consulting Network, COCN, driven by international accounting standards, modern technology, and integrity.
Recapping the top stories in nationwide news at this hour. Tell the police what you know about this dastardly act, and you could get $30 million.
That's the call from Prime Minister Andrew Holness following yesterday's mass killing in the Waltham Park area of St. Andrew.
Murders are down 17% across the country as at November 23 when compared to the corresponding period last year.
The PNP says plans announced by the government to cushion cost of living affecting Jamaicans are a last-ditch attempt to drum up election support.
Opposition leader Mark Golding says he's unfazed by the JLP's Everett Warmington's racially charged attacks against him I'm Cliff Hughes.
And I'm Robianne Williams.
You can find the news on our website at nationwideradiojm.com and on the Nationwide app available on Google Play and the App Store. News next, the headlines at 6.
News at 5 was brought to you by KFC's Festive Feast. Crunch the holidays with a KFC Family 12 bucket and try KFC's new dessert biscuits. KFC, it's finger licking good.
It's the Answers Grand Prix Christmas Bonanza Sale. Get up to 50% off when you claim your discount at Answers Gifts and Home and Answers for Children. Answers Grand Prix Christmas Bonanza Sale. Now on till Saturday, December 14.
Mazda is bringing the magic this Christmas. Get a 2-year service package, 1-year free insurance, license, registration, and free window tinting, plus 3 months of payments on us. But hurry, deal ends December 31. Conditions apply. Mazda, more style, more value, more smiles per mile.
Here at Aslan Super Center, you can fill your Christmas list.
It's 4 weeks till Christmas! And Aslan Supercenter has everything you need to start your shopping now. Choose from our wide selection of decorations, lights, and Christmas trees. And don't forget to stop by this Friday, Saturday, and Sunday for our 3-day pre-Christmas sale. And we're now open every Sunday till Christmas.
So this Christmas, make it Aslan Supercenter for sure.
It's a lifestyle.
It's time! Shocks Depot is having a pre-Christmas clearance sale with massive discounts on all shocks and struts for all vehicles. Installation and wheel alignment available, plus warranty on all shocks and struts. Contact or visit Shocks Depot at 79 Hagley Park Road. Telephone 876-649-0238 and call or WhatsApp 876-509-0076. Shocks Depot. Our products are durable, comfortable, and affordable.
Hello, good afternoon, and welcome to Sports here on Nationwide 90 FM. I'm Wayne Walker. The Jamaica Athletics Administrative Association J3As has finally broken its silence on the matter concerning its sponsorship agreement with Puma. In a release today, the J3As confirmed that they have renewed the sponsorship contract. There's been months of speculation regarding the previous Puma deal, which was set to expire at the end of next month, December. The speculation heightened as rival company Adidas tabled a record-breaking deal of over $5 billion Jamaican dollars over 5 years, a deal which they later increased to approaching $6 billion. Both proposals were rejected by the J3As, who in the release today says the new Puma deal far exceeds that of the competitor. The J3As hierarchy was unable to say what the new deal is, adding that there is a confidentiality clause attached that's preventing them revealing it to even their members. They were also not prepared to say when the new deal was inked. The J3 has also added that they suffered losses of over $79 million over the last year. The Adidas proposals were littered with add-ons to include licensing and digital rights, as well as royalties at 15% of net sales on all J3's branded products on an annual basis, and cash incentives for medals won at major championships at junior and senior levels. The West Indies took a 1-0 lead in their 2-test series after beating Bangladesh by 201 runs in the first test at the Sir Vivian Richards Stadium in Antigua today. The West Indies needed just 40 minutes on the final day to wrap up the test match. Bangladesh resumed in 109 for 7, chasing 333 to win. They were bowled out for 132 batting 1 short. Shariful Islam was forced to retire hurt after being struck on the shoulder by a delivery from Alzari Joseph. Mahedi Hassan Miraz 45, Jacob Ali 31, and Leighton Das 22 made most runs. Kemar Roach and Jaden Seals bagged 3 wickets apiece, while Alzari Joseph picked up 2. Captain of the West Indies Craig Brathwaite says they won the match from the first innings.
Batting in the first innings, to put up 450 runs. I think that was normally here in Antigua, day one especially is always favorable for fast bowlers. And the first 2 sessions, the pitch was extremely slow. Obviously a bit of moisture, but a fair set of moisture. And the way how we went about it and got up to 450 in the end, guys getting some big 50s, Justin Greer's getting 100. I think that really put us in a very good position, to press to win the test match.
Craig Brathwaite, captain of the West Indies Test team. The second game will be played in Jamaica at Sabina Park starting on Saturday. Both West Indies and Bangladesh teams are due in tomorrow. And finally in sports at this time, Arsenal produced a 5-star performance in Portugal today to get their European Champions League campaign back firmly on track. The Gunners brushed aside the Portuguese champions, porting 5-1 at the Estadio José Alvalade. Arsenal had 5 different scorers on the night.
Interesting ball in and 1-0 to Arsenal. Partey with a nice measured ball. Saka's in behind, through the goalkeeper and in. Flag stays down and Kai Havertz makes it 2-0 inside 22 minutes in the Alvalade. Good chance, 3-0, and the run from the penalty spot pays off for Gabriel. Clinical, absolutely clinical from Bukayo Saka. Hits the side netting, perfectly taken penalty, and Arsenal lead 4-1 in the Alvalade.
In other games, Manchester City extended their winless run to 7 games. They were held 3-3 at home by Dutch side Feyenoord. Kim Min-jae scored on minute 38 for Bayern Munich to beat Paris Saint-Germain by a 0-0 in Munich. Robert Lewandowski scored twice and Dani Olmo the other, as FC Barcelona stopped Brest of France by 3-0. AC Milan outscored Slovan Bratislava 3-2. Atletico Madrid crushed Sparta Prague by 6-0, and Inter Milan turned back RB Leipzig by 1-0. That's sports. We're going to be back with much more at 6:05 this evening.
Since 2016, 156,000 more Jamaicans are working. This is more than any other time in our history. Your government is caring for you.
The time brought to you by the Office of the Prime Minister is
5:31.
I don't have no time for whole heap of paperwork. That's why I downloaded and signed up for my OneJN Passport app. Get it all in one go. Download and sign up now. The temperature by the OneJN Passport app is
25 degrees Celsius here in the nation's capital, Kingston. It's 26 in the western city, Montego Bay.
Outperform, outlast. With top performance. Jackama. Reliable, full stop, not comma. We have the expertise for drilling and demolition. We have the power tools for plumbers and electrician. Fan select tools, free parts and free repairs. 3 parts, free repairs. 2 to 3 years. Hilton, available at Delta Supply, 106 Hagley Park Road. Call us at 876-302-61114. Delta Supply, we service what we sell.
Get ready for the lowest prices of the year at the Active Home Center Black Friday sale in Kingston and Montego Bay. Save big on tiles, bathroom fixtures, furniture, lighting, and more just in time for the holidays. Join us now until Saturday, November 30 for unbeatable deals you won't want to miss. Visit our newly relaunched Montego Bay location at Barnett Tech Park at the intersection of Fairfield and Barnett Street, or our upgraded Kingston showroom at 84 Constant Spring Road. Conditions apply. Active Home Center. More savings, more choices.
Catch the E-Zone with me, the Stinger Honeybee, alongside
Kareem Boy Ting,
as we turn up the heat in the street.
New show,
new vibes,
same us. Monday to Friday, 3 to 5 p.m.
Right here on Nationwide 90 FM.
We'll bring you entertainment news.
We'll take away your Monday blues.
You don't want to miss a week with us.
We'll talk health.
Well,
jump into the mix.
Or the hot seat.
Don't miss the brain buster.
Or the crazy giveaways.
I mean, is this planet Earth?
Is it?
I don't know. Let me check. Either way, it's got a buzz.
And a bug, I think.
Ow.
I'm Dennis Brooks.
I'm Alan Campbell.
I'm Floyd Green.
And I'm Garth Williams. Catch us on the Jamaican Dads podcast right here on Nationwide 90 FM, Thursdays at 8 p.m. with a repeat on Sundays at 6 p.m.
The Jamaican Dads podcast is all about providing men with a healthy, safe, and functional forum to tackle many of the taboo topics that concern our masculinity. Like everyone else out there, we're dads of varying amounts of experience who come from different backgrounds and
and often view the world differently.
We're definitely not perfect, but we are all brethren and we're all committed to this piece of rock called Jamaica.
Too often, there are no safe spaces for men to explore the issues which are important to us.
Plus, most of the content out there about parenthood is produced by women, for women. So we think it is important that we be the change we want to see.
Follow us on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Jamaican Dads with a Z.
And definitely join us here on Nationwide 90 FM every Thursday at 8 p.m. with a repeat on Sundays at 6 p.m. for the Jamaican Dads podcast. It's a revolution in media.
Hi there. Here's some good news for these trying times. Quote, "By God's word, I can see where I'm going. They throw a beam of light on my dark path." Unquote. Psalm 119, verse 105. Listen for God's Word weekdays at 5:45 a.m. and 12:55 p.m. through
Oasis. Stop by for a refreshing drink and share a God perspective for the day.
Oasis. Weekdays 5:45 a.m. and 12:55 p.m. right here on Nationwide, a revolution in media.
The rebroadcast of the Oasis can be heard weekdays at 5:45 a.m.
Cover Story is brought to you by Hyundai. Modern, premium, affordable vehicles.
Pay nothing down on a shiny, brand new Hyundai vehicle with free loan payment until March 2025. Yes, get a 2024 Hyundai vehicle and get free loan payment until March 2025. 100% financing, 2 years free service, 0 processing fees, and other sweet goodies. Drive into the new year with your new ride. Goodbye, old car. Hello, Hyundai. Hyundai. For free payments promotion. Limited stock available. Offer while stocks last. Conditions apply.
Good afternoon. It's 24 minutes going up to 6 o'clock. I'm Cliff Hughes, and I have co-hosting with me this evening the youngster, Tyrone Reed. Where in the world are you? Well, we're not hearing you very well. Yes, his connection is acting up. Tyrone, let's do that again. Where in the world are you?
I said I'm rolling on one little part.
I hear you.
Good afternoon to you, Sir Cliff, and top of the afternoon to all our listeners and our viewers on YouTube as well. Like this feels like back in the old days.
Yes, but there are better days today. Well, let me tell you, in our cover story this afternoon, the Waltham Park mass killing yesterday evening. The Prime Minister toured the area today. We're going to tell you what he said and how that went last night into today. But there's an item of news just coming in that I think is important for me to share with you very quickly. It's coming from the major organized crime and anti-corruption agency, MOCA. And MOCA is reporting at this hour that it has arrested a member of the Jamaica Defence Force, the JDF, a soldier, as part of an ongoing investigation into what it's calling a sophisticated phishing scam that defrauded the National Commercial Bank of over $47 million. According to this statement from MOCA, allegations are that between April and June the 2022, the funds were illegally accessed from a number of accounts held at NCB via an online phishing scam. The stolen money was subsequently transferred to various beneficiary accounts which have since been used to withdraw the funds or further transfer them to other banking institutions. According to MOCA, the soldier, who is suspected to be part of an organized criminal syndicate, was picked up by the lawmen at approximately 10 this morning and taken to his residence in Kingston, which was subsequently searched. Another address linked to another suspect who is currently in custody was also searched. A number of electronic devices were seized during the search, and charges are expected to be laid shortly. So 2 people in custody, one of whom is a JDF soldier, yes, and he is suspected to be part of what Mocha is calling an organized criminal syndicate. Yes.
Sophisticated. Defrauded the National Commercial Bank of over 47 million. And of course, that's not fitting as the one that you go out at sea.
No.
It's PHISHING, phishing. It's an online scam.
So, you know, when you hear that members who are supposed to sworn to protect us are caught in activities like this, it's rather distressing, you know.
It has to be. It has to be distressing, massively. But the encouraging aspect of this is that the suspected individual has been caught.
Yes. Well, let's go back now to what happened in Waltham Park yesterday evening. Inexplicable and dastardly. That's how the Prime Minister, Andrew Holness, is describing the mass killing that left 5 men dead on 85 Lane off Waltham Park Road, Kingston 11.
We are very disturbed by this, but I invite Jamaica and the press who are here with us to recall that a few weeks ago we had a press conference at the office of the Prime Minister to discuss what we saw as an emerging trend in violence and in particular homicides in Jamaica. This is as a result, we theorize, from our very effective approach in neutralizing, eradicating, and in many respects disbanding gangs in Jamaica. We have moved from over 300 documented gangs to now just under 180, and we continue to degrade and eradicate them. So we take careful note of the change in the nature of homicides in Jamaica. And though it is not yet the majority of homicides, where the homicides are committed in what we are describing as multiple victim violent incidents, rather than the term mass murder, which we're seeing generally used, which connotes a different kind of activity. We are still very much concerned that it is a growing profile in the homicides that are being committed. These homicides, these murders, are being committed essentially by gangs. Now, whilst the police have not definitively concluded in this specific instance that it is a gang-related matter, from what we are seeing so far, it is highly likely that it is a gang-related matter. The challenge, of course, is that the communities that are involved may not necessarily identify the players as being involved in a gang, because by and large the community members would not be necessarily aware of the intricacies and details as to how these gangs operate. But one thing we can be certain of is that gangs have access to weapons. They acquire them, they stockpile them, and they distribute them. They exercise control over them, and they use them to exercise control over territory. They use them to conduct illegal activities such as extortion, trafficking, and other kinds of illegal activities. And ultimately, they use them to inflict harm, violence, and ultimately death in the pursuit of their gang activities. Whether it is reprisals, whether it is a robbery, whether it is extortion, whether it is protection, they use armed violence to exercise control and influence over geographical areas. And they use them ultimately to spread fear. One thing that would have come out of this is an incredible fear in the communities that adjoin this area. It is a natural response for 5 persons to die within less than 15 minutes of each other, each incident occurring. And the nature of how it happened, this is a bar with an outdoor area for entertainment. Jamaicans all over, we gather, we sit around a domino table, we have fun. You know, this is how we socialize. And for someone or a group of persons to believe that it is, you know, okay to just walk up onto the street side and shoot innocent persons, from all intents and purposes so far, what the police have concluded is that none of these persons here were necessarily involved in any gang activity. It is inexplicable. It is dastardly. And it should never, ever be accepted or normalized in the society.
Prime Minister Andrew Holness speaking in that area of Waltham Park Road this morning, where 5 men were killed yesterday evening. We're going to have more after the break.
Clearing personal, non-commercial shipments at the port? Avoid the wait. Request a contactless clearance through your agent today. It's more efficient. It's secure. The time by the Jamaica Customs Agency is
14 minutes to 6.
Label Crafts Jamaica Limited offers exceptional finishes that will make your product extraordinary at an affordable cost. The Temperature, brought to you by Label Crafts Jamaica Limited. The #1 choice for label printing is
25 degrees Celsius in capital city Kingston and 26 in the western city of Montego Bay.
Total Tools is having a Black Friday sale weekend! Sale, sale, sale! Up to 50% off select items, major discounts on tools, accessories, lighting, and electrical supplies. All Black Friday weekend long, Thursday, November 28 to Saturday, November 30. Move fast, only while stocks last. Visit Total Tools Kingston, Ocho Rios, or Drax Hall. Total Tools, we've got you totally covered.
All right, 13 minutes going up to 6 o'clock. You're inside the cover story. I'm Cliff Hughes. And we're still not hearing Tyrone well at all. Anyway, let's press on as we try to fix that. The Prime Minister toured the area this morning alongside the Commissioner of Police, Dr. Kevin Blake, and his National Security Minister, Dr. Horace Jang. He noted that gangs who are being protected by communities is a key concern for national security. He reiterated that criminals must either meet a judge or their maker. The Prime Minister also said a $30 million reward is now available for persons who share information that leads to the arrest and charge of the suspects in the incident.
That is what we are grappling with, Commissioner, when we try to deal with gangs. So we have eroded many gangs, we have eradicated many of them, we have degraded many of them, but there is still a core that are being protected in communities. They live in communities, they have made themselves almost invisible to the community, but they are there. And it is important that the communities realize that at any time they can raise their ugly heads, they can rise the guns, as they call it, and commit these kinds of acts. And we have seen this over and over again in communities all around. Communities that have been peaceful for a long time, communities where there are no problems, communities where all the gang members are, the good guys, essentially. And then all of a sudden, you see that they have the capability to deploy violence. We have to deal with this. And we will deal with this. We will not relent in degrading, eradicating, and eliminating gangs and gang members. And I want to be absolutely clear on this. I've given a policy directive that these multiple victim violent incidents must be dealt with specially. We're going to make the necessary change in laws to deal with them. We consider them acts of terror, and we are examining the law to see what other penalties, what other deterrents can be placed in the law to prevent criminals and criminal-minded people in gangs to commit these kinds of acts. But in the interim, in the meantime, from an operational perspective, the police can mobilize resources to deal with the problem, as we have done in Cherry Tree Lane, in Warwicker Hills, in Point Hill, and in the other areas in which this has happened. So the persons who committed this act, mark my words, you will be found. And as I've said before, I'll say it again, you will either meet a judge or you will meet your maker. Anyone who commits these acts, the police will target you. We will focus on you. We will bring our investigative capabilities to bear, and we will find you, and you will get justice. And I want to be very clear on that.
Thank you, Prime Minister. Is there any special reward for citizens who may give information?
Well, we have a 30 million pool of funds, and any information that can lead us to apprehend any of these characters will provide a reward.
Well, just to be clear, Minister, when the Cherry Tree Lane incident occurred, we had put up a $25 million reward fund. We have increased that reward fund to $30 million. That fund has been repurposed to deal with any of these incidents that occur, any of these multiple victim violent incidents that occur. Any resident, any citizen, anyone who has any information that is valuable to us in leading to the arrest or giving us information that would lead to the degrading of the gangs, that information would be obviously treated with the care to protect your identity and your security, but you can also benefit from a reward from this fund. So if you have information, let us know. Please tell us.
Voice of Prime Minister Andrew Holness and Sir Cliff and listeners and viewers, I must say that I think the Prime Minister, it's not the first time I'm hearing him with these remarks, and I think he's on to something. There seems to be something more sinister afoot with these mass shootings, Sir Cliff.
Well, it's a noticeable trend we are seeing, and I wonder what is driving it, what is motivating it. Yes, that we don't know yet, but it is definitely a noticeable trend.
To try to treat with it specifically on the law, I think, is legislatively a good response from the Prime Minister, but also operationally, the police will have to do what they can do to treat with this. They are not yet sure, he says, if it's a gang-related shooting, but a lone gunman, one would think. This does have the feel of an organized crime activity, and we'll definitely await the details on that. In the meantime, though, listeners, viewers, the Minister of National Security, that's Dr. Horace Chang, is seeking to assure the public that lawmen will make every effort to apprehend the perpetrators of Monday's mass shooting.
I extend my own condolences to the families of the individuals hurt. I'll be saying much the Prime Minister here this morning. I just want to assure the public that the ministry will do everything required to support the police in the efforts to apprehend these brutal criminals. The increased incidence of multiple victim events is of concern, and we'll be looking at the entire criminal justice system to see how we can strengthen it to deal with these kind of characters. Not only giving the police support, but to ensure that the criminal justice system has the legislative framework to deal with this kind of criminal terrorist that is emerging. Individuals here, as the Commission indicated, are humble, hard-working Jamaicans who are having a game of domino. Any of us could have been sitting here last night with them. It's an area that has had a period of relative quiet, and it reflects the the brutal action of these individuals to attack these young Jamaicans. We said we'll assure the public we'll take every step necessary, not only to apprehend these characters, but to continue to take steps to prevent them happening.
That's Dr. Horace Chang, the Minister of National Security. And the Commissioner of Police, Dr. Kevin Blake, also on the tour, said the JCF has been making strides in their investigations relating to mass shootings.
I want to take the opportunity on behalf of the wider JCF to offer our condolences to the victims of the five victims of this senseless murder that took place last night, 2 incidents that we believe are related. This is now another one of a number of unprecedented number of multiple victims, violent incident that we've seen across the country in recent times. By way of update, I would like to just assure the public that we have been quite relentless. These types of incidents require a different and more strident response, and it has been receiving that type of response so far. Just to give a little update on where we are with those that have passed, and to assure the public at large that we will be assiduously pursuing these individuals who are responsible for these murders. And so with respect to the Churchill Lane incident, for all the multiple victims incidents that we've seen so far, we have had very good results in terms of investigation. A number of persons have been arrested, a number of operations have been run, and we have managed to successfully cauterize the continuation of violence in these spaces. And so the Churchill Lane, we have 3 individuals that were linked to the gang, the associated gang, and this is a rival between the Azan faction and also the One Family gang. Where 3 persons linked to that gang were arrested. 2 of the perpetrators were charged and are awaiting trial, and the trial date is January of next year. We have 2 suspects who chose not to be taken in and were fatally shot during a confrontation with the security forces. And we have 2 individuals who have been charged, not necessarily for the incident, but being part of the gang. Our operational response has been swift and serious. We have had 2 limited states of public emergency. We have intercepted a reprisal in progress during that incident where a firearm was seized and that person was arrested and charged. Several curfews were put in place, and I must say the division of St. Catherine North had lost some ground during that incident where we had 8 of our Jamaican citizens dying and 9 were shot and injured. We had lost some grounds, but because of the support that we have gotten from the ministry in terms of the curfews and the government with the state of emergency, and the support by the JDF and our continuous presence in the space, we have the division has made good strides and is now experiencing a significant, even better reduction in murder than before the incident occurred.
That's the Commissioner of Police, Kevin Blake. He also gave updates on shooting incidents that took place in Point Hill, in St. Catherine, and Pleasant Heights in East Kingston.
With respect to the Point Hill incident where 7 persons were shot and 1 person killed, we have several individuals that have been cooperating with us. The investigation is going quite well. 2 persons were arrested and charged, Junior Coleman, OC CJ, and Javon Dyer. Both persons were charged for that incident, are in custody. We also have some key persons of interest that have been identified, and we are now looking for them. One such person is Kevin Miller, OC Pantyman. We have one Shane Thompson, Shannyman, and also Brian King, otherwise called Ryko. Right? And so these persons, anybody knowing the whereabouts of these persons, please make contact with the police as we seek to continue that investigation. And as I said before, we have been getting excellent support from the JDF with respect to these incidents, and thankfully we have not seen any continuation of violence in these. And there are several others. The recent one in Pleasant Hill, one person was arrested and charged. That's where the 5 persons were killed on the football field in Kingston East. 1 person was arrested and charged, and there are 2 persons that we are looking for. One, Junior Creary, OC Whopper, where once we hold him, he can be properly charged, and also a person known to us only as Lord Evil. So both persons are wanted, and anyone knows the whereabouts of these individuals, we encourage you to provide support to the JCF. And this is just an update on a few of those incidents, and just to give the public the assurance that we will not relent when it comes to responding to these senseless hoodlums that seek to deprive our citizens of their lives and their freedom and their way of life. And we will be very, very strident in our response to this particular incident. I'm told that the victims are non-combatants. These are innocent citizens playing a game of domino, whichever one should be able to do. And the JCF, commits that our way of life will continue and will not be disrupted by these individuals.
The police commissioner, Dr. Kevin Blake. Sir Cliff, these men trying to increase the misery index in the country. Imagine not being able to sit down and play a game of dominoes.
Exactly. That is a standard part of our way of life, as the commissioner said.
We can't allow them to do that.
Yes. Well, that's where we're going to leave it for the cover story, Tyrone listeners. We're going to take a break for the news and sports. We'll be back at 6:35.
Cover Story was brought to you by Hyundai. Modern, premium, affordable vehicles.
Public opinion. Stop this foolish about this GLP and PMP business. We are a Jamaican.
Different people.
It's not a matter of a GLP or a PMP. I think it's more like where it is that you think you're comfortable, what support you can afford to make the country better.
Different views.
Most entertainers, they're not amenable to management, so the only thing that can ultimately structure them is the court and the prison.
Public opinion. The voice of the people at 6:25 p.m. weekdays during Nationwide at 5. Tune into Nationwide at 6:25 p.m. for Public Opinion, where the people's views matter.
Public Opinion is brought to you by Cleasing Industrial Supplies Limited, Industrial Automation and Control Solutions.
The time brought to you by Guardian Life. Live secure, live easy is
2 minutes after 6.
Nationwide headlines at 6.
Good evening. With the headlines at 6, I'm Nora Gay Banton. Prime Minister Andrew Holness says a $30 million reward is available to anyone with information about Monday's mass killing in the Waltham Park area of St. Andrew. He was speaking while on tour of the area on Tuesday with National Security Minister Dr. Horace Chang and Commissioner of Police Dr. Kevin Blake. Monday evening's mass shooting left 5 men dead off Waltham Park Road. Prime Minister Andrew Holness is urging anyone with information about this latest fatal shooting to share that information with the police.
When the Cherry Tree Lane incident occurred, we had put up a $25 million reward fund. We have increased that reward fund to $30 million. That fund has been repurposed to deal with any of these incidents that occur, any of these multiple victim violent incidents that occur. Any resident, any citizen, anyone who has any information that is valuable to us in leading to the arrest or giving us information that would lead to the degrading of the gangs, that information would be obviously treated with the care to protect your identity and your security, but you can also benefit from a reward from this fund. So if you have information, let us know. Please tell us.
4 men were killed when gunmen opened fire at 85 Lane in Kingston 11 on Monday. The police say another man who was also shot in the incident remains in hospital in critical condition. One other man was also shot dead in another shooting incident at 75 Lane, also off Waltham Park Road. Both shooting incidents happened just after 7 p.m. Videos circulated on social media showed the bodies lying on the roadway. The police have not yet released the identities of the men or a motive for the killings. Prime Minister Holness says the perpetrators will be brought to justice. Meanwhile, Commissioner of Police Dr. Kevin Blake says they believe that the two incidents which occurred are related.
I want to take the opportunity on behalf of the wider JCF to offer our condolences to the victims of the five victims of this senseless murder that took place last night, two incidents that we believe are related. This is now another one of an unprecedented number of multiple victims, violent incident that we've seen across the country in recent times. By way of update, I would like to just assure the public that we have been quite relentless. These types of incidents require a different and more strident response, and it has been receiving that type of response so far.
Dr. Kevin Blake, Commissioner of Police. The opposition PNP is attempting to pick apart the plans announced by the Andrew Holness administration to cushion costs of living increases affecting Jamaicans. The Prime Minister announced a raft of measures to help Jamaicans who are struggling. However, the opposition was quick to dismiss many of the plans as either poorly thought out or limited in their impact. On Sunday, the Prime Minister attempted to win over many disgruntled voters by announcing several programs to reduce the cost of living burden. Chief among them was a proposed GCT cut on electricity from 15% to 7%. This is to take effect in the new fiscal year. However, PNP General Secretary Dr. Dayton Campbell says this will amount to very little for the average Jamaican.
When I look at what my electricity bill is, my bill came to $15,500. I look at how much GCT I'm paying, and it is $993. The 53% saving that I will get on a monthly basis is $547 Jamaica for the month. $547 Jamaica. It is the same as a pound of carrot at Los Sushan. 1 pound of carrot is what the government is offering to me as a productive citizen, as an attempt to say that they are cushioning the crisis.
Opposition spokesman on energy Philip Paulwell was also critical of the announcement. He says the government has failed in its management of the country's electrical infrastructure. Meanwhile, opposition spokesman on water Ian Hales also sought to rubbish the announced debt write-offs for delinquent NWC customers.
The announcement on Sunday in regards to water we regard as a knee-jerk reaction. This wasn't a decision which was taken by the board of the NWC before the Prime Minister came and made those announcements. The NWC has 547,321 customers. Of that amount, 350,000 is in delinquent in some way, shape or form. It leaves just 197,000 citizens or customers of the NWC that are paying the water bill for everybody else in this country. So from the 197,000 citizens or customers of the NWC, our teachers, firemen, police, farmers, nurses, taxi drivers, and even some of the current pensioners will not see any benefit from what was announced on Sunday.
And in a quick response to Mr. Hales, the National Water Commission, NWC, has rubbished his claims. In a statement a short while ago, in a statement today, the NWC says its board was consulted by the government prior to Prime Minister Holness's announcement of debt write-offs for delinquent customers. It also says it was given the opportunity to provide feedback and to strengthen the policy direction. The NWC says the Prime Minister's announcement is an extension of its receivables management plan currently operating in Portmore. It says its board is in full support of the plan and as a means of easing the burden of the cost of living for Jamaicans while providing greater access to water. Those were the headlines at 6. I'm Norige. Banton Sports is next.
is 4 weeks till Christmas. And Ascent Supercenter has everything you need to start your shopping now. Choose from our wide selection of decorations, lights, and Christmas trees. And don't forget to stop by this Friday, Saturday, and Sunday for our 3-day pre-Christmas sale. And we're now open every Sunday till Christmas.
So this Christmas, make it Ascent Supercenter for sure.
It's a lifestyle.
You can have it all. Company events, birthday parties, or the wedding of your dreams. It's all possible at Grand Palladium Hotels and Resorts. We have magnificent event rooms and a dedicated team that will make your event the best experience that only Grand Palladium Hotels and Resorts can offer. Contact us at 876-619-0000 or call your favorite travel agency and ask about our promotion designed especially for you.
Are you ready to turn your sales and marketing skills into high earnings? Nationwide 90 FM is searching for business development executives to build lasting client relationships. If you have experience across all stages of the sales cycle and possess strong communication, negotiation, and time management skills with a proven sales track record, this opportunity is perfect for you. Join our team and work with the top corporate brands, media agencies, and of course, our on-air personalities. Enjoy networking opportunities, professional growth, and competitive commissions. Ready to take the next step? Send your resume to hr@nationwidenewsnetwork.com today.
The Police Civilian Oversight Authority will be hosting its awards ceremony for Area 2 Transforming Our Police Services TOPS competition on Wednesday, November 27, 2024. The TOPS program, established in 2019, is aimed at increasing compliance with Jamaica Constabulary Force policies and procedures. Additionally, the program seeks to boost the morale of police officers. The program is comprised of 4 phases: the TOPS Area Competition, the TOPS Area Award Ceremony, Area Performance Review Meeting, and Re-Inspection. Join Cliff Hughes online from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. as we broadcast live from the TOPS Award Ceremony, Wednesday, November 27, 2024, only on Nationwide 90 FM, the new revolution in media. This broadcast is brought to you by Police Civilian Oversight Authority.
Hello, good evening, and welcome to Sports here on Nationwide 90 FM. I'm Wayne Walker. The Jamaica Athletics Administrative Association, J3As, has finally broken its silence on the matter concerning its sponsorship agreement with Puma. In a release today, the J3As confirmed that they have renewed the sponsorship contract. There's been months of speculation regarding the previous Puma deal, which was set to expire at the end of next month, December. The speculation heightened as rival company Adidas tabled a record-breaking deal of over $5 billion Jamaican dollars over 8 years, a deal which they later increased approaching $6 billion. Both proposals were rejected by the J3As, who in the release today says the new Puma deal far exceeds that of the competitor. The J3's hierarchy was unable to say what the new deal is, adding that there is a confidentiality clause attached that's preventing them revealing it to even their members. They were also not prepared to say when the deal was inked. The J3's also added that they suffered losses of over $79 million over the past year. The Adidas proposal was littered with add-ons to include licensing and digital rights, as well as royalties of 15% of net sales on all J3's branded products on an annual basis, and cash incentives for medals won at major championships. The West Indies took a 1-0 lead in their 2-test series after beating Bangladesh by 201 runs in the first test at the Sir Vivian Richards Stadium in Antigua today. The West Indies needed just 40 minutes to wrap up the game on the final day as Bangladesh resumed at 109 for 7, chasing 334 to win. They were bowled out for 132, batting 1 short. Shariful Islam was forced to retire hurt after being struck on the shoulder by a delivery from Alzari Joseph. Mehidi Hassan Miraz, 45, Jackie Ali, 31, and Lighton Das, 22, were the leading scorers. Kemar Roach and Jaden Sears bagged a 3-wicket seat, while Alzari Joseph picked up 2. Captain of the West Indies team, Craig Bradford, said they won the match from the first innings.
I think the way we batted in the first innings, to put up 450 runs, I think that was normally here in Antigua, day one especially is always favorable for fast bowlers. And, the first 2 sessions, the pitch was extremely slow, obviously a bit of moisture, but a fair set of moisture. And the way how we went about it and got up to 450 in the end. You know, guys getting some big 50s. Justin Greer's getting 100. You know, I think that really put us in a very good position, you know, to press to win the test match.
Craig Brathwaite, the second and final test will be played at Sabina Park starting on Saturday. Both West Indies and Bangladesh teams are due in the island tomorrow. Jamaica's senior netball team in England will meet in the fourth and deciding match at the Vitality Horizon Netball Series at the National Indoor Sports Centre this evening at 7. The Sunshine Girls beat the England Roses 50-49 in Game 3 to level the series at 1 apiece. The match will decide the first holder of the Rowan Hornsby Trophy. Captain of the Sunshine Girls, Shamira Sterling Humphrey, says they need to make use of the home court advantage.
This is our home ground, this is our turf, so we need to stamp that ground.
Head coach of the England Roses, Jess Turlby, says maintaining their centre pass will be key to victory tonight.
We need to be better than the Sunshine Girls with how we respond overnight, and so we'll pick out, we've got really great processes, the girls will be on it in terms of where we won and lost that game, and they'll come back really hungry to contain and keep possession of the ball better.
That's Jess Turlby. Clarendon College and St. Elizabeth Technical will contest the 2024 Issa Ben Francis Cup knockout final. In today's semi-finals at Glenmuir, the reigning DaCosta Cup champions Clarendon College defeated Denby High by 1-0, while in the other semi-finals, Stets beat Frome by 3-2. Arsenal produced a 5-star performance in Portugal today to get their European Champions League campaign firmly back on track. The Gunners brushed aside the Portuguese champions 5-1 at the Estadio José Alvalade. Arsenal had 5 different scorers on the night.
Interesting ball in and 1-0 to Arsenal. Partey with a nice measured ball. Saka's in behind, through the goalkeeper and in. Flag stays down and Kai Havertz makes it 2-0 inside 22 minutes in the Alvalade. Good chance, 3-0, and the run from the penalty spot pays off for Gabriel. Clinical, absolutely clinical from Bukayo Saka. Hits the side netting, perfectly taken penalty, and Arsenal lead 4-1 in the Alvalade.
In other games, Manchester City extended their winless run to 6 games. They threw away a 3-0 lead at home to draw 3-3 with the Dutch side Feyenoord. Kim Min-jae scored in the 38th minute for Bayern Munich to beat Paris Saint-Germain by a 0-0 in Munich. Robert Lewandowski scored twice and Dani Olmo the other as FC Barcelona's top Brest of France up 3-0. AC Milan outscored Slovan Bratislava 3-2. Atletico Madrid crushed Sparta Prague by 6-0, and Inter Milan turned back RB Leipzig by 1-0. President of the Jamaica Squash Association, Karen Anderson, says the players from Jamaica and the Caribbean will be on show at the inaugural 4-day invitational at the Ligani Club starting tomorrow. Anderson says this will give selectors a true reflection of the standing of the players ahead of All Jamaica competition in March of 2025.
We've actually invited persons to play. The idea was that we would have 12 persons from, Jamaica who would be participating in our top players, and then some persons from the Caribbean. We've had 3 persons take up from the Caribbean: Jerizina Bell from Guyana, Jonathan Hope from Bahamas, and Leonel Cerrillo from Trinidad and Tobago. So we've been pretty happy with the take-up because we really only wanted about 4 persons internationally. So we've gotten 3 out of 4, so we're pretty happy about that. And we're just looking forward to the competition. I think it's going to be very spirited and looking forward to it. I think people can expect some really good competition. These are persons who are trying to be considered for the national team. And so they'll be going out there to showcase their talents and to see if, where they stand in terms of some of the top players in the country. And then hopefully when All Jamaica comes around in March, everybody will be competing.
Anderson says the tournament was designed to fill the void left by the reshuffling of the association's events.
We normally have All Jamaica at this time, and then we would have our trials in March, but we wanted to move All Jamaica. We wanted to move All Jamaica closer to when the actual competitions are being held. So we still needed to have a competition in November so we could have a gauge of where our athletes are. And so the Jamaica Invitational came about. So that's why we're having the first staging of it this year.
President of the Jamaica Squash Association, Karen Anderson. That's sports.
For all your scales and food processing equipment, call Advanced Scales and Equipment Limited at 876-968-9612-5. The time by Advanced Scales and Equipment Limited is
6:18.
Does your bra ride up your back? Do your shoulders hurt from carrying the weight of your breasts? These are signs of an ill-fitting bra.
When was the last time you were fitted by a bra fit specialist? The bra experts at LaBelle Femme will take care of you. Drop into the store at 53 Lady Musgrave Road, Tuesdays to Saturdays from 10 to 5, and you will see the difference. Or call 876-622-6091.
Shop and win a mega kitchen from Megamart. Spend $6,000 or more before GCT at any Megamart location and fill out the entry form provided for a chance to win a brand new stove, fridge, and microwave this Christmas from Appliance Traders Limited. Visit us on social media to win monthly prizes courtesy of Lasco, Grace Foods, and Facey Commodity Company Limited. Promotion runs from September 30 to December 6. Shop now to win a mega kitchen from Megamart. The best value by far. Conditions apply. Must be 18 years or older to enter. Authorized under Section 58(3) of the Betting, Gaming, and Lotteries Act.
Get ready for the lowest prices of the year at the Active Home Center Black Friday sale in Kingston and Montego Bay. Save big on tiles, bathroom fixtures, furniture, lighting, and more just in time for the holidays. Join us now until Saturday, November 30 for unbeatable deals you won't want to miss. Visit our newly relaunched Montego Bay location at Barnett Tech Park at the intersection of Fairfield and Barnett Street, or our upgraded Kingston showroom at 84 Constant Spring Road. Conditions apply. Active Home Center. More savings, more choices.
Happy holidays from Team Adam and Eve. We invite you to indulge in a relaxing spa atmosphere or gift someone spa pampering this season. Visit us at www.adamandevedayspaja.com for e-certificates or WhatsApp 876-567-2142. Relax, refresh, and respite with us today. We have Christmas packages starting at $8,500. Book a massage, facial, mani-pedi, or hair service at Adam and Eve Day Spa. You deserve it.
The Police Civilian Oversight Authority will be hosting its awards ceremony for Area 2 Transforming Our Police Services TOPS competition on Wednesday, November 27, 2024. The TOPS program, established in 2019, is aimed at increasing compliance with Jamaica Constabulary Force policies and procedures. Additionally, the program seeks to boost the morale of police officers. The program is comprised of 4 phases: the TOPS Area Competition, the TOPS Area Award Ceremony, Area Performance Review Meeting, and Re-Inspection. Join Cliff Hughes online from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. as we broadcast live from the TOPS Award Ceremony, Wednesday, November 27, 2024, only on Nationwide 90 FM, the new revolution in media. This broadcast is brought to you by Police Civilian Oversight Authority.
Public Opinion is brought to you by Cleasing Industrial Supplies Limited, Industrial Automation and Control Solutions.
Good evening, and welcome to Public Opinion. I'm Roby Ann Williams. A special good evening to our YouTubers. Thank you so much for sticking with us. Yeah? We ask you to weigh in live in the comments section on today's Public Opinion. We're continuing to pick apart the Prime Minister's address to his 81st, the JLP's 81st annual conference, which was held at the National Arena on Sunday. So, addressing the long-standing water access issues, the Prime Minister revealed plans for a water debt amnesty. Jamaicans disconnected from the National Water Commission, NWC, for over 2 years due to outstanding debts will have the opportunity to clear their arrears.
For persons who have been disconnected from the NWC water supply for debts 2 years or more outstanding, who are pensioners or who are assessed as being in need based on the path beneficiary identification standards, the NWC will write off totally the debt that is owed. In addition to that, we will waive the reconnection fee.
And there's more. Prime Minister Holness says the water debt amnesty will start on January 2, 2025 and last for 3 months. He says that customers who have been disconnected for over 6 months will be eligible for a discount on their outstanding balances if they commit to structured repayment plans.
If you were disconnected for longer than 6 months, we ask you to come in to the NWC and make arrangements for payments. The NWC will discount your debt by 50%. Our special cases as assessed, the discount might be even higher. For persons who are pensioners who have taken part in this amnesty and who are being reconnected, if the reconnection is as a result of a suspected leak, the NWC will provide a leak detection service to ensure that the pensioner does not end up back in the same situation as before. The NWC will partner with the Heart Trust NSTA to train leak detection specialists to participate in this program.
Prime Minister Holness, he was speaking at the 81st Annual Conference of the Jamaica Labour Party on Sunday at the National Arena. So we want your reaction, as always, to plans to cancel debts to the NWC. Yeah? We want to know what you make of that, what you think about that. Yeah? So we go to our social media pages. On Facebook, I'll start first, where Michelle Bernard is saying it's welcomed by many, especially in St. Elizabeth, where many were sent water bills of up to $1 million. Wow. Maureen McLeod is saying it's an excellent move, but hopefully they'll make payments on a monthly basis going forward. I know, right? Because once it write off, you can't allow it to go back up because, Philip Jackson is also saying it's excellent over magnificent. Maury McGart, good move, give needy customers another chance. Natawa is saying it's an excellent move. However, it should be done incrementally, meaning each current payment made on time will see an incremental reduction in the debt. Not at all, Natawa. It's a complete write-off. Fabian Smith is saying it's a good move. Edney Powell also saying it's a good thing. Time now, the people benefit. They made all the sacrifice through the years. Christopher Isaacs is saying that it's a great start. A next step would be to assist with disputed bills, with especially those of us who live overseas. Natalie Winter is also saying it's an excellent move. Yeah? On our X platform, Striker55 is saying it's a very good move. Going on over to our Instagram platform, Chris Duncan, also saying it's a great move. Hyatt Herman, it's a great move by the PM. I hope people make use of it and begin fresh. And still have some people when I make use of it in a Herman. HM Queen is saying some people deserve a break. However, we must be responsible and pay our bills. If the government can help, let them help. And I like that part about responsibility. Because if you use it, just pay your feet. Yeah? Don't expect that it will come around again. This write-off will come around again. If you use it, pay your feet. And Hyatt Herman is saying performance over propaganda. Yeah? Let me see if I can get into our YouTube comments. Your reaction to plans to cancel debts to the NWC. A write-off of debts starting January 2, 2025. And it will last for 3 months. Yeah? You have the opportunity to clear the arrears. Let me see if I can get into, yeah. Ken Youth is saying it's an excellent move by the Prime Minister. Have the Jamaican people heart. Okay. Gertrude is saying just like that with a thumbs up. Yeah. Beverly Samuda believes it's a good move. And after the write-off, they must make it a priority. Yeah, man. After you get it write-off, make it a priority to pay. Consistently. Every little thing adds up. Denzel M saying it's a good initiative, but people must not let their bills run up again. It has to do with responsibility. Godfrey Smith says it's a good move. Dr. Buck, excellent idea. And I must make the point that the Prime Minister himself did say that this will allow and assist when you're transferring lands and all of that. People have them land and how much water bill, the water owed, yeah? They owe NWC and they're not able to do that transferring of land or make any such move any at all because they owe such amount and they might try to clear it off. Well, here is an opportunity too. Sonia Hutton believes it's an election move. Yeah, it's an election move. Loxley Miller saying it's a well thought out plan by the Prime Minister. Marlene is also saying brilliant idea by the JLP government. Otis is also saying good move. Geneva here. Very good move as some persons are hit with a huge bill caused by an underground leak they didn't know about, and as a consequence they were disconnected. I can definitely relate to those leak. Yeah, not necessarily underground, but can relate to that one and getting a hefty bill. Leslie Robinson says thoughtful and responsible move. Let me see if I can get in some more. Everell McDonald saying it's a good move. Hope the people make full use of it. Remember, it's only for 3 months starting January 2, 2025. Only for 3 months. It's better late than never, Dory is saying. Dory is saying it's better late than never. Jacqueline Thomas says, Roby and a bridge, my bridge. Wow. Wow, what a confession, Jacqueline Thomas. What a confession. A bridge water. Oh, God. Wow. All right, let me see if I can get in some more. Robert Lewis is saying it's a good move by the PM. 3, 4, 5 term in government for him. Yeah. Let me see if I can get in some more. Precious Soul is telling the Prime Minister, thank you. Will, is it? Yes. Leroy Rotty. It's Leroy Rotty's birthday, I'm being told by Will. I don't see him from morning on the stream any at all. Happy birthday going to Leroy Rotty since we're, here. Joseph Powell is saying the next budget, everything will be right off 2025 to 2026. That's according to Joseph Powell. Bertie. Hi, Bertie. Bertie believes it's a good move, but opposition are throw cold water upon it. Wow. Can youth? This will help the economy to grow also. Yeah? Andrea Henry believes it's an excellent move. We're talking about the write-off of debts owed. Customers who are delinquent, debts owed to the NWC. We're talking about the planned write-off to take effect January 2, 2025. Sonia Solomon is saying, good move. Leaks and delinquent tenants are culprits of some of these high bills. And that's what we're talking about, responsibility. You get the write-off, make use of it. It'll last for 3 months, so make use of it. Go in, make use of it, and don't make it happen again. Simple, yeah? Donovan Walker says it's an excellent move. Time come for the 3rd term. Performance over propaganda. Marigold Seroti in I'm element no. Sharon Kong is also sending Leroy Rotty happy birthday greetings, yeah? Blessings to Leroy Rotty on this his special day. Yeah? Let me see if I can get in some more of the pub up here. Good move coming from Verley Green. On that note, I'll have to end the public opinion because I'm getting the wrap-up signal. So we await January 2, 2025 when this write-off will take effect. Thank you guys so much for participating in public opinion. Yeah, do stay tuned for the business report.
Public Opinion was brought to you by Cleasing Industrial Supplies Limited, industrial automation and control solutions.
Drive the most exciting new vehicles in Jamaica. Schedule your 2024 Ford Ranger pickup or Ford Everest 7-seater SUV test drive now. Call or visit KIG today.
The time by KIG is
6:32. Hello, good evening, and welcome to Nationwide's Business Report. I'm Roby Ann Williams. The Bank of Jamaica BOJ is projecting a rapid rebound in the Jamaican economy following the recent contractions. BOJ Governor Richard Biles is forecasting between 1 and 3% growth for the island in the next fiscal year. It's estimated the economy declined by nearly 3% in the July to September quarter, with a further potential contraction for the fiscal year. This was primarily due to weather-related shocks. Meanwhile, Mr. Biles noted that inflation has continued to trend down, staying firmly within the central bank's target range of 4 to 6%. However, he warns there's some degree of uncertainty on the horizon. President-elect Donald Trump says he will hit China, Mexico, and Canada with new tariffs on day one of his presidency in an effort to force them to crack down on illegal immigration and drug smuggling into the U.S. The U.S. president-elect said he would sign an executive order imposing a 25% tariff on all goods coming from Mexico and Canada after being inaugurated on January 20, 2025. He also said, quote, "We will be charging China an additional 10% tariff above any additional tariffs." The threat could mark a major escalation in tensions with the U.S.'s three top trading partners. It could also lead to higher prices for Americans since tariffs work as a form of tax on imports. The U.S. is the world's largest importer. And finally, in the currency markets at the close of trading today, it cost 158 Jamaican dollars and 27 cents to buy $1 US, 199 Jamaican dollars and 83 cents to buy $1 British pound, and 112 Jamaican dollars and 45 cents to buy the Canadian dollar. That's the business report. I'm Robianne Williams. It's a wet Tuesday evening. Have a good one.
KFC festive feast for the holidays. Full of power with my friends and my family. KFC bucket of the flavor. Something for everybody, time for we celebrate. 12 piece of chicken so delicious. Fries, biscuits, coleslaw, mashed potatoes. And the Pepsi. Crunch the holiday with KFC. It's the festive feast for you and
Crunch the holidays with the KFC festive feast. 12 pieces of delicious chicken, sides, and a 2-liter Pepsi. Try our new KFC dessert biscuits. KFC, it's finger licking good.
Are you ready? Join us on November 28th from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. at the University of the Commonwealth Caribbean's Youth Day. Enjoy our Business Expo, get expert leadership advice, and explore diverse program offerings. Join a live panel discussion on youth leadership in the digital age and many more exciting presentations. You don't want to miss this. UCC's Youth Day, November 28th, 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. 17 Worthington Avenue, Kingston 5. For more information, visit ucc.edu.jm.
Total Tools is having a Black Friday sale weekend! Sale, sale, sale! Up to 50% off select items, major discounts on tools, accessories, lighting, and electrical supplies. All Black Friday weekend long, Thursday, November 28 to Saturday, November 30. Move fast, only while stocks last. Visit Total Tools Kingston, Ocho Rios, or Drax Hall. Total Tools, we've got you totally covered. Are you ready to turn your sales and marketing skills into high earnings? Nationwide 90 FM is searching for business development executives to build lasting client relationships. If you have experience across all stages of the sales cycle and possess strong communication, negotiation, and time management skills with a proven sales track record, this opportunity is perfect for you. Join our team and work with the top corporate brands, media agencies, and of course, our on-air personalities. Enjoy networking opportunities, professional growth, and competitive commissions. Ready to take the next step? Send your resume to hr@nationwidenewsnetwork.com today.
If it's in the public's interest, it's the nation's business during Nationwide at 5. The nation's business.
Hi there. Here's some good news for these trying times. Quote, "By God's word, I can see where I'm going. They throw a beam of light on my dark path." Unquote. Psalm 119, verse 105. Listen for God's Word weekdays at 5:45 a.m. and 12:55 p.m. through
Oasis. Stop by for a refreshing drink and share a God perspective for the day.
Oasis. Weekdays 5:45 a.m. and 12:55 p.m. right here on Nationwide a revolution in media.
The rebroadcast of The Oasis can be heard weekdays at 5:45 a.m.
Catch the E-Zone with me, the Stinger Honeybee, alongside
Kareem Boyatings
as we turn up the heat
in the street. New show,
new vibes,
same us, Monday to Friday, 3 to 5 p.m.
Right here on Nationwide 90 FM.
We'll bring you entertainment news.
We'll take away your Monday blues.
You don't want to miss a week with us.
We'll talk health.
Well,
jump into the mix.
Or the hot seat.
Don't miss the brain buster.
Or the crazy giveaways.
I mean, is this planet Earth?
Is it?
I don't know. Let me check. Either way, it's got a buzz.
And a bug, I think.
Ow.
Do you have a consumer-related issue? Want to learn more about matters concerning you as a consumer? Well, keep it locked to Nationwide 90 FM for the Consumer Hour with me, Nora Gay Banton. Weekdays from 9 to 10 a.m. For all your consumer-centric matters, stay tuned to the Consumer Hour on Nationwide 90 FM, a revolution in media.
As we grow older, there are many challenges that we have to confront, but these years can represent the best in our lives. Coming of Age during Nationwide This Morning on Thursdays explores issues persons 50 and over confront. It also provides expert opinions on how we can improve the quality of our lives as we get older. That's Coming of Age, this and every Thursday during Nationwide This Morning at 6:51 a.m.
Are you ready to turn your sales and marketing skills into high earnings? Nationwide 90 FM is searching for business development executives to help us grow our business and build lasting client relationships. If you have experience across all stages of the sales cycle and possess strong communication, negotiation, and time management skills with a proven sales track record, this opportunity is perfect for you. Join our team and work with the top corporate brands, media agencies, and of course, our on-air personalities. Enjoy networking opportunities, professional growth, and competitive commissions. Ready to take the next step? Send your resume to hr@nationwidenewsnetwork.com today.
Taboo topics, Boyatings After Dusk,
riveting discussions,
celebrity news and interviews,
topics that are shunned by society,
and everything else in between.
Boyatings After Dark with Kareem Boyatings each and every Wednesday, 8 to 11 p.m.
Boyatings After Dark.
No topic is too taboo or hard to discuss. Come get your mind blown and your curiosity explored.
Boyatings After Dark.
Informative, educational, insightful. Let's talk justice. Tackling topics like constitutional rights and reform, domestic violence, and rights issues that affect you. Let's talk justice every Monday from 1 to 2 p.m. on Nationwide 90 FM. Call in, share your thoughts, be empowered, know your rights, and let's talk justice, ensuring access to justice for all, courtesy of Jamaicans for Justice.
I'm Dennis Brooks.
I'm Alan Campbell.
I'm Floyd Green.
And I'm Garth Williams. Catch us on the Jamaican Dads podcast right here on Nationwide 90 FM, Thursdays at 8 p.m. with a repeat on Sundays at 6 p.m.
The Jamaican Dads podcast is all about providing men with a healthy, safe, and functional forum to tackle many of the taboo topics that concern our masculinity.
Like everyone else out there, we're dads of varying amounts of experience who come from different backgrounds and often view the world differently.
We're definitely not perfect, but we are all brethren and we're all committed to this piece of rock called Jamaica.
Too often, there are no safe spaces for men to explore the issues which are important to us.
Plus, most of the content out there about parenthood is produced by women, for women. So we think it is important that we be the change we want to see.
Follow us on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Jamaican Dads with a Z.
And definitely join us here on Nationwide 90 FM every Thursday at 8 p.m. with a repeat on Sundays at 6 p.m. for the Jamaican Dads podcast. It's a revolution in media.
Tune in to Nationwide 90 FM, the new revolution in media. Stay ahead of the curve with our cutting-edge reporting and accurate breaking news coverage.
We are having an earthquake. Oh, God.
Hear it here first on Nationwide 90 FM.
Is that really Clip You, Stalky?
Tune in, turn up the volume, and listen. We bring a mix of news, entertainment, and sports to your lives.
Nationwide 90 FM's live and continuous coverage of the World Championships in Budapest, Hungary.
News and discussions week mornings.
Coming up in the news at 6 for this morning.
Entertainment in the afternoons, then news again in the evenings.
Nationwide news at this hour, fired.
Also, tune into the entertainment and sports shows in the nights and on the weekends.
It is Boy Things After Dark right here on Nationwide 90 FM.
Everything is news, from current affairs and entertainment to sports, business, and other categories.
Nationwide 90 FM. This is Beanie Man. Give it to them. Zaga, Zen.
From every whisper to every commotion.
That's rubbish. The KSAMC cannot investigate itself.
Was Clip News really talking like that?
Every news story unfolds here first at Nationwide 90 FM, the new revolution in media. Every sound is a story, and every story we share is news.
Nation's Business is brought to you by BH Paints. Paint it, love it with BH Paints.
Good evening, good evening. Thank you so much for staying with us here Nationwide at 5, right inside the nation's business. Well, the opposition leader Mark Golding says Prime Minister Holness's promised reduction in the general consumption tax rate for electricity bills will accrue to the wealthy and not those who need it.
The promised reduction of the rate of general consumption tax on electricity will not impact the majority of JPS customers who consume less than 150 kilowatt hours per month of electricity and already benefit from the tax exemption introduced by the Portia Simpson Miller administration. In fact, the greater savings from the tax rate reduction will accrue to wealthier customers who consume more electricity.
Voice there of opposition leader Mark Golding. Prime Minister Andrew Holness announced on Sunday that his administration intends to lower the GCT on electricity from 15% to 7% by March 2025. The Finance Minister, Favor Williams, says the government will be giving up approximately $1.7 billion in revenue to facilitate the reduction in GCT on the electricity bills. But Mr. Golding says his next administration will bring credible plans to lower energy costs in the country.
What is needed is strong and capable leadership to drive down electricity costs in Jamaica through a transformation of the energy sector. The PNP has a plan to achieve this and a shadow minister with a track record of achieving it. We will bring modern legislation as we've done before and massive investment to the energy sector, and for that our record speaks for itself.
Mark Golding, leader of the opposition, he was speaking at a PNP media briefing today. Yes, in response to what we heard on Sunday from the platform of the governing Jamaica Labour Party by the Prime Minister. Well, joining us to discuss further is his spokesman on energy and climate change, Philip Paulwell. Good evening, Mr. Paulwell.
Hi, good evening to you, sir, and to your listeners. Good to be back on your program.
Very well.
Good evening as well, Mr. Paulwell.
Hi, good evening to you too.
Good. So your party leader and opposition leader made the point that he has a plan, you all have a plan, to really deal with the fundamental problem of energy cost, to impact, to lower electricity rates. What is that plan?
Okay, well, recently I made a detailed presentation to our shadow cabinet, which presentation was accepted. And clearly, some of the greater details will be revealed when we do our manifesto. But the plan is entitled Giving Power to the People, the Democratization of Electricity in Jamaica. And once and for all, we intend to enable every single Jamaican, if he or so wishes, to be able to generate his own electricity, or alternatively, to get from the JPS cheaper electricity. And if you'll allow me to just spell out just a few, because I know the government has pivoted towards elections, not growth, but towards elections. And I'm awaiting a strenuous debate on energy, because energy is so important, as you all have come to recognize. In fact, I was disappointed when the Prime Minister spoke last week, Tuesday, about pivoting for growth, because a lot of that pivot, if it is for growth, must be on the energy sector, the electricity sector, which has, because of it, we have not been able to realize significant growth. So let me take it back to 9 years ago, when we came to the culmination of the first phase of this revolution that we started. And that was to transform and diversify our fuel sources away from heavy fuel oil and diesel, which was about 90% of how we generate electricity then, in 2012, that is. We were able by 2016 to transform that to 60% liquefied LNG, natural gas, LNG. We added 20% renewables in that period of time. And the government did not continue in that vein. In fact, if we had continued, especially with the Prime Minister's announced policy of achieving 50% renewables, we would have continued the reduction of the price of electricity. I just want to remind you, in 2016, the price of electricity was about 23 US cents per kilowatt hour. Today, we are back over 40 US cents. All right, so that was the first part of the revolution. I'm disappointed.
So hold on, Mr. Paulwell. So critical to your plan, and when I say your, meaning the opposition's plan, is to add more renewables to the grid as a source, more renewables as a source.
Yes.
At what percentage? We are back up, you say, at a cost of 40 cents per kilowatt hour. Yes, but in terms of the input from renewables, we're way below where we ought to have been. Yes? Where is that now, and where do you want to take it to?
All right. So our policy, ultimately, we want to get a national price of about 18 US cents per kilowatt hour for electricity. We believe that in that ballpark, our economy stands a greater chance. Now, since 2016, we have not added anything new. The Minister of Energy is about to announce 2 licenses that have been procured after 9 years to bring a total of 100 megawatts of capacity. And we applaud that, but it is mighty late. And you know why? These licensees will be generating electricity using solar at less than 8 US cents per kilowatt hour. So can you imagine if that had happened 3 or so years ago, where would we be now? Our drive is to coincide with the Prime Minister's vision of getting to 50%, is on day one to move rapidly to another procurement for another 100 or so megawatts of solar. The reason why we are focusing on solar is that we have seen over the last decade a massive reduction in the price of panels. We have seen reduction in the price of inverters, but more so, we have seen reductions in the price and improvement in the technology for battery storage, which has always been an issue with these intermittent renewable sources.
So with the 100 megawatt, and we have Tyrone with us. Tyrone, you can come in when you want.
Yeah, man, I'm listening to the Foreign Minister.
Yes. With the addition of 100 megawatts that is coming, or to be announced, that doesn't mean it's going to come, yeah? What timeline are we looking at for that 100 megawatt, and where would that take us in terms of the percentage of renewables as a source?
Yes. Well, the the government is to announce it. It will take some time to get on stream, especially if you don't have a minister who is pushing for these things, because the licensees now will have to go and negotiate a power purchase agreement. And then from the commencement of construction to the switching on of the generation, we'll be long into the PNP's term by 2027. So I can also pivot to elections, you know. But this at 100 megawatts will bring us probably about 25-26%. So we still have a long way to go if we're going to get to 50%.
So,
yes.
Go to your plan now. Yes, how are you going to get the renewable partners into the game? What strategy are you going to be using to get them here to the table faster than what we have seen from the Holness administration?
All right, so we do have a manifold number of inputs that will enable us to achieve that. I have been speaking about electricity theft and the fact that when you cliff use, you pay your electricity bill. Between 17 and 20% of that bill is because of the 200,000 households that are now stealing electricity, which is greater than when the government owned the JPS. You know, in 2001, when we sold the JPS, we were experiencing less electricity theft than we are doing now. The way to correct that is first for the government to recognize that it has a responsibility to do so, that it can't be the burden on JPSCo alone. And the plan that we have put forward 2.5 years now on the standing orders paper in Parliament was to utilize some of those resources. We collect about $7 billion per annum for this energy hedge tax. I tell you, we could use those resources to deploy microgrids within these poor communities using solar technology to, over time, completely solve this problem where on a house top roof, in open space within our communities, we'll be able to deploy panels, we'll be able to connect the houses together under one microgrid, and over time to cut this pernicious practice of people stealing electricity, in large measure due to the high level of poverty. And at the same time we're doing that, we also have to recognize that some of the stealing takes place uptown as well, you know. And we have to bring the full force of the law. And those penalties were increased by me in 2015 to up to $5 million on imprisonment. But people have just not been pushing to activate the provision of the law.
I'm happy you mentioned that, Mr. Powell, because isn't it the case that the lion's share of what is stolen from JPS is from, it isn't necessarily from residential customers? If my memory serves me correct, is that the lion's share of it is from the 200,000 home owners, home occupiers in lower income communities. But they represent the lion's share. Yes, a significant amount of it is from uptown, but the lion's share, if you think about of 200,000 homes stealing electricity, that's where the bulk of it is. And I believe that it requires now this type of revolutionary approach to solve it once and for all. And I want to go back to what you mentioned, because I was listening to get broadly what are the parameters of this revolutionary plan regarding energy that you're putting on the table. And you did mention solar as a form of renewable energy, exploring that in a more broader context. I recall many years ago, I was at the Gleaner at this time, Mr. Paulwell. I think it was 2012. I just did a quick search, and on July 6, 2012, there was an article about you switching to solar. Do you recall that article? You switched your supply at home to solar. Do you still do that, Minister?
Of course, because
all right.
Unfortunately,
I'm getting to the question. So I'm happy to hear that you're still doing it. So that was 2012. I gather you were energy minister at the time, were you?
Yes, I was doing that to demonstrate to the country that you can make the transformation. Yes.
Good. So 2012, the JLP would have taken over back in 2016, right? So how far along did you manage to get this national push at that time? Because you did it at your home, but how far along? What else did you get done during your tenure as energy minister to advance this national agenda to move towards solar?
Yes. Well, as I mentioned earlier, in 2013, we did a procurement for additional wind, and we expanded Wigton. We established a new wind project in Malvern, St. Elizabeth, and we created the single largest solar farm at the time in the Caribbean by content in Clarendon. We also granted over 700 licenses to small producers, people who benefited from this net billing arrangement, so you could generate electricity for yourself using solar, and you could also sell the excess amount to the grid. All of those things have pretty much been discontinued and certainly not expanded the way we had envisaged. We also wanted to ensure that those large companies that were generating for themselves, they could use the grid to transport their electricity to their other businesses elsewhere in the country. Those things did not happen as was intended. And the revolution, though, the true revolution, is when you, Tyrone and Cliff, and those other users out there start to install on their roofs their own panels, their inverters, their batteries, and the ability to sell the additional capacity, cheaper capacity, to the grid.
I hear you on it, former Minister Powell, but you did mention that the prices are coming down with regards to the installation, acquiring the equipment and installing it. The prices are coming down. But in terms of how do we get this from being an idea that broadly many Jamaicans can afford, because it's really the barrier to entry is the cost, How do we get it to the point? Can we seek to get into business with some manufacturers of these kinds of solar equipment to see if we can get some wholesale prices on it? What do you have in mind to make this more affordable for the average Jamaican?
So one of the aims behind the NESOL, which no longer exists, was to be able for Jamaica, because those panels you spoke about in 2012, those were procured out of Cuba. And for me, there's no reason why we could not manufacture those, assemble those in Jamaica, and to not only provide for Jamaica, but the rest of CARICOM. I still believe it is durable. But also, it is acknowledged that the price, the upfront cost, is prohibitive for some. And I therefore would want to see a greater flow of resources, debt financing, cheap financing through the NHT and elsewhere that is going to enable any Jamaican to access low interest rate funds to acquire their system. And I also want to see greater competition. I'm a competition man. I want to see greater competition because there are still too few suppliers of solar system in the country, and that should not be the case.
And how the granular details, you haven't necessarily worked out the granular details then, how to make this beneficial to the average Jamaican. You're still working on that?
Well, I can tell you that we have done the details to guarantee that if we follow this path, we'll be able, if you wish to become self-sufficient, we'll be able to take your electricity price from where it is at 40 cents now down to about half of that just by transforming to utilizing solar with batteries. It is important that we have batteries because you're going to, after the sunset, need to be able to keep your system going. I believe that we can.
There's maintenance. There's maintenance costs also associated with the use of solar. What is the plan? Is what I'm asking. Are you prepared to tell us the plan that your administration, an administration formed by the PNP, would put in place to make solar energy affordable for the average Jamaican?
Yes, I'm quite prepared, as I have started to describe for you how we're going to be doing it, starting with dealing with the electricity theft, but also to expand to the wider society. There are some important steps that we also have to introduce, and those steps require negotiation with the JPSCO on some of the terms of its license. And one of the things I mentioned today is that while the minister said that he's going to be on the road campaigning, the license comes to an end in 2027, but in 2025, the license requires that the government engages JPSCO. Now, unlike Cable and Wireless, when we had to intervene strenuously in 1999 to deal with that monopoly license, which should have come to an end with 2038. The JPSCO license comes to an end in 2027. So
when should the engagement begin?
It should begin now. The minister should have his negotiating team ready now, going through the elements that will be put to JPSCO by mid-year 2025. If he doesn't signal to the JPSCO the path that the government wishes to take, a golden opportunity will be missed. And what I said to the minister in my last presentation in the sectoral debate is, let this be a united effort. I can help. We've had the benefit of dealing with Cable and Wireless in the past. There are some things that we need to do now. And there is leverage that we have because the JPSCO is going to want to survive, and we can enable that, but not at the expense of the consumer.
Some things we can do now, such as what?
Yes.
For example, one of the reasons why we haven't grown as an economy and why this special economic zone has not succeeded is that you can't attract people inside the zone at the current price of electricity. Free it up. Let those persons who are established in these zones be able to supply themselves and their tenants at electricity at 25 cents per kilowatt hour. And you'll be amazed to see how many investors flood to Jamaica.
And when you say free it up, tell me, what do you mean?
Break up the monopoly, yes. Is that what you're suggesting? The distribution monopoly?
What?
Right now, if you establish a building in a special economic zone, you can't supply to your tenants. The law doesn't allow it. Not the law.
The Electricity Act.
The interpretation of the license doesn't allow it. And so therefore you have to buy electricity from JPSCO at 40 cents per kilowatt hour. I believe in anticipation of the termination of the license, you could today use that leverage and get JPSCO to relent from this issue. It's a win-win for the country if you allow operators in special economic zones to generate electricity and to supply their tenants at a fraction of the cost. And they can do it utilizing solar.
Just to be clear, you're calling for an end to the distribution monopoly that the JPS has.
I am calling for an end to that part of the exclusivity that gives an interpretation that if you're in a special economic zone, you cannot distribute amongst your tenants. My own view is that you should be able to, because the view of the SEZ is that you're not really operating in Jamaica, you're operating for export services and production of goods. That has always been my case, my view. But I believe that at this time, you have an opportunity to use the leverage and to get that concession and to see major growth taking place in the zone.
But based on what you said earlier, this is going to be more than just a facility that could be done in the special economic zone? Because you're saying if Cliff Hughes has the wherewithal to set up my own solar system and can sell to my neighbor, you are going to permit me to do that. You said that earlier.
Well, certainly in relation to dealing with electricity theft, we are going to enable that. We want to enable that.
But it will have the same impact. It will shatter the JPS monopoly.
Yes. No. In relation to the theft of electricity, listen to me out. You are solving a double problem. If you provide, so no JPS group in their right mind could challenge that. If you step in as a government and say you're going to rid the company of the burden of 200,000 households, and you establish for those users their own system. So I don't see that as a problem. I don't see also the problem, the issue of the special economic zone.
Yes, it is going to be a problem, Mr. Paulwell. The economics, yes, the economics of the business is now going to be entirely threatened, undermined.
But you're not.
I don't know about undermined, but they'll be losing money, Mr. Paulwell.
And losing money means undermined.
You sound just like Cape Dan Wireless did. In
No.
1999. Don't resist the change. It's going to happen. Yes.
No. But
so, Minister, to be clear, you want the special economic zones, the generation and distribution there to be allowed, and you are also saying, based on what Cliff just put to you, that if I can generate as a private citizen enough electricity from solar or whichever other system I'm using, I should be able to sell to my neighbor as well.
Don't take me where I am not yet. Don't take me there.
But you said it earlier.
I have cited for you 2 clear-cut cases that are dealing with electricity theft, which is substantial, and that of the special economic zone. Now, in relation to the ability of persons to distribute electricity to their neighbors and elsewhere, those things will have to emerge out of negotiations, and I don't want to start negotiations about JPS license even before we get into office. There are certain things that will have to await that process. But for the 2 areas that I have pointed out, electricity theft and special economic zone, I believe that these are no-brainers, and we should be pushing to get these things done.
But Mr. Paulwell, what you said, I'm a competition man. That's what you told us. So competition means that Cliff Hughes can set up him solar farm and a piece of property I have up in wherever, Timbuktu, and I can generate for my purpose and for my neighbors. That's what you said earlier.
Just to remind you, we achieved competition out of a process of negotiation. And yes, those negotiations were turbulent at times, but we were able to achieve that final objective.
Sorry, Cliff, he's asking you if that's what you were saying earlier, that an individual citizen who can generate electricity from solar or whichever renewable source, and then they should be allowed to sell some of the excess to their neighbors. Are you batting for that?
I am urging you to listen to what I'm saying. And
but we've listened to you, Mr. Powell, and now we're putting it back to you if that's what you're saying.
Yes, and you seem to be backing away from that.
If you listen to me, I'm saying to you, in relation to 2 clear-cut matters, that of electricity theft, which is very substantial, and that of special economic zone, I believe that those things will happen. Other areas of competition must be the subject of negotiation. Must be. So the instance that you're citing, that I can't say today that will definitively happen. Those are objectives, but all of those things will have to come through negotiation.
No, we're not asking you what you think is going to definitively happen. Remember now, you are putting forward, Minister, what your revolutionary plan is for the reduction of electricity cost in the country.
Competition.
And we're asking you, is this one of the items on your list? It's a simple question, really,
And I'm saying to you, that ultimately we want to see full and open competition, but that there are certain constraints, and I wouldn't want at this stage, apart from the 2 areas that I have cited, to delve into greater detail until we go through that negotiation process. And I think that is quite reasonable.
We're well over time, Mr. Paulwell, but I want to thank you, and we should bring you back. Yes,
indeed,
we should bring you back because
yes,
you said
there are other elements to this thing that I would love
to discuss.
Yes, of course.
But you did say in the opening that you made a presentation to your shadow cabinet. Can you say whether they have approved it? They're going to go with it or not?
Well, I believe that the shadow cabinet was sufficiently impressed by some of the elements. It's a work in process. And the closer we get to the implementation time, which is after the next election, is the more that they will be scrutinizing certain elements of it. But I think on a whole, the thrust of the presentation was approved.
On a whole, the thrust of the presentation was approved.
Yes.
But Mr. Powell,
is that
be approved so it can be a manifesto? You can't wait until after the election.
That's where I was going.
No, man, it is going to be a critical part of our manifesto.
Right.
Yes.
So they basically approved it for adoption. They're going to adopt it.
I think if we were to write the manifesto tomorrow, it would be there in its entirety. And it's entitled Power for the People.
And Mr. Paulwell, manifestos are notorious for their lack of readership. Manifestos in Jamaica are also notorious for being published a week or two, at best 3 weeks before the elections.
Right.
Why should the people of Jamaica be denied an opportunity to have this kind of discussion as we are doing here, yes, in other fora as well, to scrutinize and pick apart and support where it needs support your proposal for this crucial part of the Jamaican economy? Why hide it? Why hide it in a manifesto? You know that nobody not going to read it when you put it in a manifesto.
And that's the reason why I'm saying to you, tonight I'm saying to you, get Mr. Vaz and myself to debate the future of energy. And I'll be able to be as specific as I can in relation to the other areas that we weren't able to discuss this evening. I think that is what you want to encourage.
Oh, that's an idea. That's an idea.
That's
an idea.
Yes. Good idea, actually.
But we're not going to let you off the hook. You need to publish that plan so we can read it. So when we are doing that debate, we can probe it, in the presence of Mr. Vaz.
Yes.
Right?
I have it written right beside me, but in due course you'll get a copy.
I hope it's not 2 weeks before the election.
Not at
we hope. But before you run, I know we have to go.
Yes.
You still have the solar panels you're using, Minister, are still the ones from Cuba? They've proven durable?
Oh yes. Actually, you can pay back for these things in 4 or 5 years, and after that it's entirely free. My capacity is not where it ought to be, so I still, after about 7 o'clock, still have to get my electricity from JPSCO. But my aim is eventually to be free of the grid, and that is going to happen soon.
Philip Paulwell is the opposition spokesman on energy. Yes, Mr. Paulwell, thank you very much. He's a spokesman. Hello, Mr. Paulwell, we're hearing you. We're saying goodbye.
Hello.
We're saying goodbye now. Thank you very much, Mr. Paulwell. He's a spokesman on energy and climate change. And Tyrone, we've been talking about energy, but we also need to pay some attention to climate change, because increasingly, that is having a profound impact on our fortunes as a country.
We're seeing it with the frequency of the systems that are developing.
Yes.
And all over the globe. The other day there was like a few minutes of rain, and how many people died in Spain.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's in Valencia.
Valencia, yes.
We are absolutely feeling the effects of climate change. I would definitely need to pay some attention to that. But as you know, Sir Cliff, and as most of perhaps the people who've been following it, the people, who are most responsible for the climate change that we are experiencing aren't necessarily putting their support to small island developing states like Jamaica. They've been slow.
The big
to
polluters,
really offer the support that they need
the big polluters, the United States, China, the industrialized countries.
Yes.
Yeah, the COP conference recently ended this last week in Baku. It failed. Yes, because what they have put up in terms of funding, yeah, for alternatives to fossil fuel was a paltry sum. Paltry sum.
Yeah. I'm not so certain. They're definitely not putting their money where their mouth is concerning this.
And they're the ones creating the problems, not
They
we.
have a massive footprint, and they know it, and they are, they're paying only lip service to climate change.
Very well. After the break, Nature's Remedies with Dr. Denise Daly.
Nation's Business was brought to you by BH Paints. Paint it, love it with BH Paints.
GK1 now introduces third-party motor insurance from GK General Insurance. Download and log into the GK1 app, then select one of 3 affordable third-party options. The time by GK General Insurance is
19 minutes after 7.
Pay nothing down on a shiny, brand new Hyundai vehicle with free loan payments until March 2025. Yes, get a 2024 Hyundai vehicle and get free loan payments until March 2025. 100% financing, 2 years free service, 0 processing fees, and other sweet goodies. Drive into the new year with your new ride. Goodbye, old car. Hello, Hyundai. Hyundai. For free payments promotion. Limited stock available. Offer while stocks last. Conditions apply.
Are you ready? Join us on November 28th from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. at the University of the Commonwealth Caribbean's Youth Day. Enjoy our Business Expo, get expert leadership advice, and explore diverse program offerings. Join a live panel discussion on youth leadership in the digital age and many more exciting presentations. You don't want to miss this. UCC's Youth Day, November 28th, 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. 17 Worthington Avenue, Kingston 5. For more information, visit ucc.edu.jm.
New fast food always tastes to savor. Giving you the best, giving you the flavor. Icing up the kitchens all across Jamaica. Happy smile when they see the price you pay for. Corned beef and the sausage. New pack. Ketchup and the pepper sauce. New pack. Beans and the baked beans. New pack. Rice. New pack. Oil. New pack. New pack foods always taste to savor. Giving you the best, giving you the flavor. Icing up the kitchens all across Jamaica. Happy smile when they see the price you pay for. New pack. More than just value.
Good God have mercy, hey. Good God have grace, hey. Lord have mercy, hey.
20 minutes after 7 o'clock, it's all about Nature's Remedies. I'm Cliff Hughes. Tyrone.
And I'm Tyrone Reed. Sorry, I muted myself. I'm Tyrone Reed. Top of the afternoon to all our listeners and viewers. Evening, pardon me. And of course, Dr. Denise Daly. How are you?
Yes. Good evening, Doc.
I'm doing well. Good evening, Cliff. Good evening, Tyrone. And good evening, listeners.
Very well. And I gather this evening it's all about the quaco. That's
the
right?
Quaco bush.
The quaco bush.
Yes.
Yes, go ahead.
So quaco is one of the bush that we often use in Jamaica for skin. Do we know the quaco bush, Tyrone?
No, actually. I only think we know what's quaco is him shot.
How about you?
Ditto. When I heard it, Tyrone, I said, what about quaco and in shot this evening?
Apparently, that's the first thing that came to mind.
Yes. Same here.
Right. Well, quaco bush is one... yeah, there it is. It's very commonly found across Jamaica on the roadside, climbing up trees and fences and any shrub, right? Once it's present. Some other names you'll hear for quaco, they call it guaco as well. Bitter vine, you'll hear bitter vine. Mila minute, you'll hear mila minute. And that is because of how quickly the quaco will grow. When they say mile a minute, they're not playing. It can grow 3 feet in just a week.
Wow.
Up to 3 feet, 1 meter. So it grows really fast. So it can be quite invasive. And with that, we use it a lot in Jamaica.
So you what part of it you use, Doc? You tell me, the leaves or what are those? The flowers?
Yes, so it has some nice, small, tiny white flowers. The leaves are heart-shaped, serrated edge, so kind of gritty, and it's a vine. How we use it for external uses, you use entire parts of the plant. So you grab the vine, the leaves, etc., and we'll use it for our skin. For internal use, you want to get the young leaves. So you can use Quaco to make a tea, but the young leaves are preferred because the mature leaves are very bitter. Thus the name bitter vine.
So, and what do you use it on? You use it to treat skin rashes or what?
Yes. So Quaco is so popular for skin ailments, whether it's measles, mumps, chicken pox, insect bites, snake bites, scorpion bites, mosquito bite, anything like that, rashes and inflammation. What we'll normally do in Jamaica is either get the herb, just rub it on the skin, or you can get a mortar and pestle or any container or a bag and crush it and rub it onto the skin. And it's effective in removing any itching areas, helping to remove that, reducing any rashes. And it's very good as a wound healing agent. So just getting the plants and rubbing it.
Just like that?
Just like that. However, one popular way is bathing with it. So I don't know if back in the day you remember our zinc bath pan.
Yes.
Bathing in zinc bath pan.
Yes. I remember those days.
The Tyrone. They're like, no.
I'm a young boy, man. I'm a young boy.
I'm still just waiting to hear if there's any relation to this bush and the shot. It's a different Quaco, right? This has nothing to do with Quaco. If you can't catch Quaco, you catch him shot.
Catch him shot, no. But in this case, if you can't catch Quaco and it's available all over, then you're really at a rough spot. But yeah, they usually get the zinc pan, bath pan, and you get your Quaco, you get a good load, you wrap it around your hand and get as much as possible. Put it in the bath along with Circe or tamarind leaf. So Quaco, Circe, tamarind leaf, you get them together and then you just kind of crush the plant. Act like you're washing and allow that water to settle and stay in the sun. Now, when the zinc is activated by the sun, it makes it even more medicinal and you use that to bathe. Any skin rash, any athlete's foot, any ailments on the skin, it clears it up. And you just do that a couple times for the week. Each time you're bathing, and you see the difference in the skin coming to light and being healed.
Oh,
interesting.
Very interesting.
So yeah, any itching.
That's all it takes.
That's all it takes. And the medicinal power it has, it's due to its active component. So there has been a number of research looking at Quaco and its benefits and what exactly is in there. And one of the compounds is your guaiacin, right? Guiacin. So guaiacin is extracted from Mekenia species, which our Quaco is one of the most significant plants where they'll extract it from. Now, this compound is very good with wound healing. So what it does, it promotes the formation of more collagen, it's antibacterial, it reduces the pain, and it's also an antioxidant. So it's very good for the skin. It's within the plant, the leaves of the plant. So it's highly effective for your wounds and your rashes and any inflammation. So science is proving what our forefathers have been saying all along. Get some Quaco, clear up your skin.
Thing new under the sun, the wise man Solomon said,
There you go.
They're just proving what we already knew. So outside of the use on the skin, you did say it is bitter. Is there any tea? You can use it to make tea, as old time people used to say. Can you? And are there any benefits from drinking the tea?
Yes, there is. And it's an adaptogen. So Quaco is that herb that's good for every skin condition externally. And 2, adaptogen for the skin. Adaptogen are your herbs that help to reduce any stressing or stress response within the body. So any extremely high concentration of one thing or extremely low concentration, Quaco extract or tea helps to normalize or maintain that level and allow the body to adapt. Because it's called an adaptogen. So if you're going to make the tea of Quaco, you want to get the young leaves. The young leaves have enough of the medicinal power without being extremely bitter and can be very potent. Right? So a few
Can't tip a little sugar in it?
You can tip a little brown sugar in it, not a refined one, or a little honey, just to help with the taste. And yeah, it will help. You can also have the dried herb. It's available online as tea bags or loose leaves. So you can have 1 teaspoon in a cup of water, or if you're getting the fresh leaves, you want about 2 to 3 teaspoons of that. And yeah, you can make a tea.
You take that for any particular malady, or it's just good to take a cup of that every now and then?
Having it will be good for skin conditions. Oftentimes our skin shows what's happening inside our body. So it helps with liver detox and your kidneys. It's also antibacterial. It's good for the GI tract because of its antioxidant effects and how it helps with inflammation. And so those effects that's happening inside, you can also have the tea that helps to negate that. And then you see the effects through the skin as well.
So this bush is not for common cold. It's generally its use is towards skin issues.
Generally skin, inside and out. But a common cold, yes. Because antiviral, antimicrobial, it does have some benefit for that. So
so you can use it for the common cold as well.
You can use it for the common cold. You can also use it to help modify or maintain cardiovascular health and cholesterol health, because it has a lot of phytosterol, and those phytosterols are your plant sterols, similar to cholesterol, but it competes with cholesterol and thereby lowering your cholesterol levels and so on.
And good for the heart as well.
It's good for the heart.
Go on with itself, man.
Go on, man.
So all right. So you've told us good for the skin. It's good for the common cold. You can use it for that as well. Is there anything else? Because this bush seems very medicinal. Is there anything else that it can do?
Yes. The root, you can also use the root. The root of the quaco is also medicinal, and it's used for fever and inflammation. So if you have fever and swelling, get some quaco root, wash it off. If you can dry it and keep it. If you have it fresh, that's fine. Just wash it and boil it, and it can help with fever and inflammation. It can also help to remove drug residue, which acts like a detox, help the liver to get out these drug residues. So quaco root, quaco leaf, the entire leaf and vine, those are some of the medicinal aspects. One other one is psychosis. So persons will drink the tea to just calm the aggression. Yes, calm down the aggression. Let's get some quaco tea.
And is it good for? Because psychosis can be brought on by a number of things. It's good for people who are suffering from that kind of break.
Yeah, yes, it is.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, because of its adaptogenic effect and the number of medicinal compounds. And then these medicinal compounds, like your flavonoids, your alkaloids, it has in coumarins, and other antioxidants, your beta sterol, your sigma sterol, as I mentioned before. And these have been proven to be effective against a wide variety of ailments. So it helps to provide those gaps with the minerals it has as well within the biochemistry of the body.
What is I think we're up on a break.
Yes.
We need to take a break. But when you come back, I want to hear from you that what are the leaves if it gets older? Why is it so much more bitter? It reminds me of a thing called sulfur bitters. Not sure if you know of that. My grandmother used to force us to take that one. But we're up on a break. When we come back, we're talking about the quaco.
Yes,
quaco is the name of it.
Quaco.
Yeah. The quaco bush. Yeah, not to be confused with if you can't catch quaco, you catch him short. Not that. Cliff, when we come back, you're the old man here. You should be able to tell us what does that mean. What is this you can't catch quaco, you catch him short thing? When we come back though from this break, Nature's Remedy with Dr. Denise Daly. More on the other side.
Water fi wash off your heart. Hey, nobody could have said Rasta soft. Me go link Viva fast and never fever grass. Hey, Spirulina we blending so you know why.
Get it all in one go. Download and sign up now. The time by the 1JN Passport app is
7:32.
Jamaica, your government has delivered. 100 brand new CNG buses are now rolling out across the island. Enjoy lower bus fares, short wait times, and air-conditioned comfort on every ride. Enjoy a smoother commute and more savings every day. It's all part of our commitment to lower the cost of living and improve your daily commute.
Brought to you by the Office of the Prime Minister.
Shop and win a mega kitchen from Megamart. Spend $6,000 or more before GCT at any Megamart location and fill out the entry form provided for a chance to win a brand new stove, fridge, and microwave this Christmas from Appliance Traders Limited. Visit us on social media to win monthly prizes courtesy of Lasco, Grace Foods, and Facey Commodity Company Limited. Promotion runs from September 30 to December 6th. Shop now to win a mega kitchen from Megamart. The best value by far. Conditions apply. Must be 18 years or older to enter. Authorized under Section 58(3) of the Betting, Gaming, and Lotteries Act.
Dr. Denise Daly is a former program director for the College of Health Sciences at the University of Technology. She does seminars on corporate wellness and team building strategies and health and wellness in the workplace. She also offers lifestyle and wellness coaching and offers personalized wellness packages. Dr. Daly is also the co-owner and founder of Nasare R&M Company Limited. All natural skincare products are available for customers. They also do private labeling and customized skincare packages. She can be contacted by email at drdenisedaily@gmail.com for bookings and consultations. She can also be found on Instagram and Facebook at Dr. Denise Daly.
Good God of mercy, hey. Good God of grace, hey. Lord of mercy, hey. Spirulina build up my confidence. Rastafari.
7:34 in the evening. We are inside Nature's Remedies with Dr. Denise Daly. We're looking at the plant, the Quaco. Yes, the Quaco. If you can put it up back for us on our screen, Dana, or producer. The Quaco has quite a few medicinal values that we use. Dr. Daly, tell me, is it endemic to Jamaica or it's found all over the world?
No, it's found in other parts. It's found in Asia, it's found in the Pacific, and in other Caribbean islands.
Okay.
So it's quite popular.
But I'm certain ours is way more potent.
Oh dear.
Yes, our soil, it has so much medicinal value when it plants grow in it. So definitely.
Why are the mature leaves way more bitter than the younger leaves? What causes that, Doc?
All right, so it goes right back to the compounds that are in the plant. And Quaco has a lot of bitter compounds. It has a lot of the terpenes, flavonoids, and phenolic compounds. Now, the more mature leaves will have a higher concentration of those bitter elements, and therefore it's much more potent and has more of that. While your longer leaves, it's not as much. It just starts making it, and it's more palatable while still being medicinal.
So that sounds to me then, Doc, like the more mature leaves should help with my complaint quicker.
Yeah, but it can also be too much, right? So you want to have the younger leaves to ensure that you have just the right amount of your medicinal component without having too much becoming toxic. Now, if you have if you get the leaves and you crush it, and you have like half a teaspoon of the mature leaves, then that's lowering the dosage that you'd use to make your tea.
Mm-hmm. Right. I'm actually happy you touch on dosage, and I want to talk side effects after this. But if there are any dosage, if I'm drinking the tea, I do like regular mint? Do I just get some leaves and young leaves, the younger leaves, as you've been pointing out, put in a pot, boil it, and then have that, or do I need to ensure that I'm using a certain number of leaves?
You can just get, if it's the powdered crushed leaves, or if you buy a loose leaf tea bag, then about 1 to 2 teaspoons in 1 cup of water, that will be fine. If you have the plant and you're going outside, you want to grab 2 to 3 of the fresh leaves, or you can get 1 or 2 of the dried leaves. The smaller, the younger, the better for its medicinal potency and use. So, and that will work. That will help.
In terms of side effects, anything to be concerned about in that regard?
Side effects, you often hear that we don't drink it a lot in Jamaica, only some communities, but we definitely use it a lot for the skin. For side effects, research shows that no contraindication so far. It can be used safely. One thing they recommend, if you're on cholesterol medication, you do not want to have the Quaco because, again, similar to what it does to cholesterol in the body, it can help interact with your cholesterol medication. So that's one thing we'd be aware of. You don't want to have too much, like it's not one of those plants you can have every day continuously, 7 days a week. You want to give yourself a break. So 3 to 5 days rest, and then you can have diluted versions of the tea. You can also use it in soups. You can add it to your soups and give a little flavoring to yeah, but it's not a whole lot. It's like you're adding thyme and scallion just a little bit, and you get the flavor.
So the aim is what? To get the soup a little bitter?
No, to flavor it up and add some of your resources. It's mineral rich. So again, enhance the nutritional component of your soup and flavor.
You mentioned something just now. Sorry about that. If you mentioned something about if you have the plant and you want to take it and then make your tea or to crush or whatnot. But then you mentioned there's another form in which it can be consumed. What was that?
Soup. And you can also crush it and make juice. You can do a juice extract of it as well.
Oh. Okay. So this is not sold anywhere. You'd have to grow this or buy it from someone.
More than likely, if you go outside, you find some Quaco if you have bush in Jamaica. That's how popular it is. But you can buy it. You have it available online, and in some of the herbal food stores, you have Quaco being sold, and as supplements.
We have a caller. Dr. Daly Tyrone. Miss D.
Yes. Good evening, Tyrone.
Good evening.
Cliff and Doc.
Good evening to you, Miss D.
Good evening.
Good. I just need to know from you, Doc, this Quaco bush, can it help with like moles or warts? Does it help for stuff like that?
For moles, it can help. It's antifungal, so it has antifungal properties, but you'd want to combine it with neem as well.
Neem,
right?
okay.
Yeah, neem for moles. For warts, it will help with the skin, clear up the skin, but it won't take off the wart per se. I haven't seen anything or them using it traditionally to take off warts. We can use milk thistle, your milkweed rather, to help with the wart. So you just rub that on every day and allow it to dry, and that helps to dry.
Is that something you have?
Pardon?
Is that something you have?
The milkweed? No, I don't have any of those herbs now available.
Oh. So I just need to.
But if you send me an email, I can send along some listing of herbal vendors. Yeah.
Okay. Milkweed, you said.
Milkweed, yes.
Okay. All right. I can testify.
First time hearing that one too.
I'm Tyrone, born under the clock, and apparently Cliff too. I didn't know you were. I thought you were a countryman.
Well, to be fair, that's an accurate assessment. I was going to say not really, but to be fair, that's but Cliff should know these things.
Me born under the clock, a lie, Neil.
No, but you were born before there was a clock. That's the point I'm making.
Let me tell you something. You see?
Please, come on, Tyrone. Take very Cliff.
I don't know.
Quaco bush. That as a child, I remember I was like every mosquito bite I would get would give me a sore, a pimple, a sore, and it was horrible. My skin was like polka dot when I was small. I remember it, and I didn't even like to go to school because of it. And that same bath pan, my mother used to put the Quaco bush in it. But I didn't know. I thought it's because that's what we had. I didn't know it had any medicinal value as well. And used to bathe me in it, and trust me, it helped.
Yes.
It helped. Yes, I can testify to the Quaco bush. But
yes,
I was wondering now, as an adult, if it can help with warts or mold.
I see you weren't born under the clock, Miss D.
No, not at all. I'm a Manchesterian. Proud Manchesterian.
Mancunian you are. All right. Big up to Mancunians.
Thanks,
Thank you for the call, Miss D. Someone on the YouTube channel is asking Lloyd Gordon, could this bush reverse vitiligo?
Reverse? No, because oftentimes it's beyond just the external. It really works with if it's a microbe, some type of microbe, which is a virus, bacteria, or fungus that's causing a skin irritation. If it goes deeper to genetics or some mutation, then Quaco doesn't usually assist or reverse that. But it enhances the appearance of the skin. That's one of its benefits.
There's a skin condition. I'm trying to remember the name of it, and it escapes me now. I wanted to ask you if the Quaco plant can help with that.
Psoriasis, dermatitis.
No, man. In Jamaica, we used to call it. I used to see it more often in people years ago. Not now. I'm not seeing it, and they used to use a certain kind of ointment on it. Oh, goodness me. The name, it will come back to me. Hopefully it comes back to me.
Yeah, man.
For the program.
Yeah, man. Age I take you now.
Oh, liver spots?
Ah, that's it.
All right. Yes. That is so true. Yeah, in the 80s, 90s, we had a lot of Jamaicans with liver spot. Yes.
I don't know what Cliff and his generation were doing that caused that, but
No.
right. What
liver spot was generated by unhygienic conditions. Isn't that so, Doc?
Which one? The liver spot?
The liver spot was triggered by unhygienic conditions.
Well, not necessarily, because you can catch it from somebody else.
Oh, it's also...
So it is contagious. So oftentimes you have kids interacting at school. One gets it. Sometimes the whole class have it. So with liver spots, Quaco can help because it is fungal related. And it will help to clear up the skin. And then after you put on your ointment, or you get some neem oil and you can apply it. A lot of times it's the upper body or the back and so on. But yeah.
Good.
And you want to drink some of the tea.
So for the liver spot, so it will help to clear it, but you would still need to put something on the surface of the skin,
I would still apply an oil with a herb infusion to help. So after you bathe and you get that, you have that cleansing happening, and then you put on that external herb infused oil to help with the healing process or ointment.
Okay. All right, Miss D.
Yeah.
Richie, good evening. And remember now, we're taking your calls for Dr. Denise Daly. The numbers to call us, 876-63093-7124 or 618-8255. Richie.
Good evening. Good evening, Cliff.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening, Doc.
Good evening, Richie.
Master Aaron, big up yourself.
Angle, my boss.
Yes. Doc is really a robot teacher.
Yeah?
My mother used to bathe us with the Quaco bush. Soap. I don't know the name of the soap, And I grew up using it.
Carbolic
soap.
All right. Yes, man.
Yes.
Ultimate combo.
Yes.
Yes, man.
Or a necessary soap.
And when she rub up the soap with it, none so like it. And she bathed us with it, and it take up. We grew up as children without no rash.
Yes.
But when I used to drink it, I didn't know. I mean, I know you could drink, but when I used to drink it, but I grew up using it to bathe the Quaco bush and the carbolic soap. It's a good combination. But it's mainly river coast I see it, For years I don't see it. But it's mainly river coast I see it. Because where we live, we have a river below the house. Below we yard a little distance. But back in those days, we never even have water in pipe. We used to fall a lot. And we used to go to body, so water was not a problem. But when we use the Quaco bush and the carbolic soap, no rash on us. That's good combination. I'm saying that you're really a robot teacher.
Thank you.
No, stop.
Yeah.
Yes, Richie.
I don't hear you talking to a man.
But hold on, Richie. So, Richie, you know, still use a carbolic soap?
Yes, I don't see it for years now.
Yeah, man, it's still around, man.
Still around.
It's still around, man.
Yeah, it's still. It should be. I saw it in
It's not as popular as when I was growing up, but
Yeah.
it is still around. You can still get a carbolic. Yeah.
I mean, as you talk about that, but I'm not there everybody now. That's a problem. But yes, I don't see the Quaco bush. It's a good herb. But
It is.
Yes, sir.
Other day, me talked to a man about the red star callaloo, and he said to him,
the purple star callaloo.
Purple.
Oh,
Yes.
we spoke about it.
What we call red star. But that's the callaloo me tell you about, me tell the man, said, Dr. Denise, you talk about it.
Yes.
Remember me tell you, me give you a breed of the callaloo?
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
Purple star or the wild callaloo, yeah. The jute.
And I want to tell you something up here. You see, if you have that,
Uh-huh.
you see, at night Christmas, as much as you love your ham,
Uh-huh.
if you have it to eat, you have put some of it beside the ham, so you taste the ham, so you taste of it,
Away, I said to me. Ham and callaloo?
Me say the callaloo, the texture of it is extremely nice.
Oh?
I used to cultivate it a lot,
I must try it.
But the thing about it now, I don't know make it seed again because I should have a lot of it because give a lot of seed of it. A lot of the seed. You should have it.
Yeah.
So if he come in town, never talk to him. Might be listening to him. If he come in town, I'll get some of it. Sense, ask him to give some of it.
Yeah. But when I saw that purple callaloo, we were at an outside broadcast last Friday at Devon House for the Eat Jamaican Food Day. And there was a farmer there. Yes, I had food there.
I can imagine.
And the purple callaloo was on sale. And Nora had some. I should ask Nora how it tasted. But boy, the mind is a hell of a thing.
Yes, man.
Because when me hear callaloo, me no want to know about green. Me green leaf.
Yeah, I can't do it either, Cliff. The callaloo should look green. Yeah,
Exactly.
I'm not so certain I can get past that.
What about your purple carrots?
When I used to call it
No, if the carrot is not red, I'm not getting
red.
past that either.
Because people love it. The texture of it is extremely nice. People love it. And people love the color of it as well.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Oh.
But Tyrone.
No.
Tyrone.
Yes.
Yeah,
Listen
but Richie, may I hear it? But you haven't missed me with that one to do.
Listen me now. If you can't get Quaco, it's taking shot.
Shot.
Oh, yes.
The criminals them now. When they go for some of the yard, then kill all the rat and the roach and the chink in the yard. I say, anybody, if you can't get Quaco, anybody you get if you can't get one, you get that one there, yeah?
But what is the Quaco in that reference? I understand what it means, but what is the Quaco in that reference?
The Quaco, no, if you can't get Quaco, you catch in bush. You're referring a person to the Quaco.
As in the bush?
Well,
Somebody named Quaco.
The bush is separate, but you're referring.
Don't think of it as a bush or the plant, Tyrone. It's Quaco
Right,
is
which
just
is
a
why I'm
name.
asking, what does Quaco mean in that statement?
Quackers, I understand. When you name Quacker, me say you don't have much sense,
Yes.
We never said anybody call it Quaco.
Yeah, the name or the person.
What is that Quashi?
No, Quaco.
What is Quashi, Cliff?
Quashi.
No, Quash is a person. Is a person who has more sense.
Oh.
And the Quaco mean the same thing as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
You see, so I'm talking about here, right? When I understand what is the Quaco, I know what the Quaco means in the statement, If you can't catch the main person you're looking for, there's going to be some collateral damage, basically is what that is saying. But where did they get this, what Quaco thing from? Who is this Quaco that they're referencing in that statement? I've never heard somebody explain that.
Somebody come up with it. Somebody come
Yeah,
up. So that's why
apparently, and somebody just run with it.
Yeah.
Anybody, then kill all the roach and the chink in the yard. That's how they do it.
All right.
You know they take care.
All right,
Mas Richie.
Cool.
All right. Thank you so much, Richie.
I think I'm not sure if I saw this in the chat, but ringworm is it good for that? I'm not sure if you had mentioned it. Is this Quaco plant and the leaves and so on good for ringworms?
Yes, I did mention ringworm as well as one of the ailments, skin ailments. It's very good for it. Do the bath. With ringworm, you want to have Cersei and neem with your Quaco. So make that as a bath. And what I would say is also do some extracts. You can do an extract or you can do it, soak it in vodka and apply it externally.
We have another call.
You can drink it as well.
We have another caller. William. William, good evening.
Good evening, Cliff. Evening, Doc. Evening, Tyrone.
Good
evening.
Mas William.
Yeah, man, I'm here. Before I go to the Quaco, Cliff, I think last week I was here in an interview with Dread Arras. But then to the same callaloo, I mentioned the Jokoto. Remember, I mentioned the Jokoto.
Yeah, he told me, the farmer, one of the farmers there told me that they call it Jokoto.
Right, yeah, man. I made a mention a couple weeks ago to Doc.
Yes, Doc had mentioned it, yes. Jokoto. I said Jokoto or Jokoto.
Jute. Yeah, the Jute.
Oh.
Some people call it different.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I remember we used to steam it with even the shoe black and those things. We used to steam it down with the rosemary and them thing there.
Yes.
Like a little boy in the country.
Yeah.
So what a concoction.
Right, I'm glad
we can't face.
Yeah, back to the Kwaku, Doc. I'm going to go further with the Kwaku. When I was a child, and my grandma used to be made, use the Kwaku, use the Cersei, and the blueberry bush. Right?
Yes.
But they don't really use the carbolic soap as a thing. What they do, they rub it up until it sodas oneself. Give it one soda. And that is what you use on Barbados. And when talk about wingworm or any of those type of fatty and so, we don't know any of them. That never the part for your skin. Because that even yourself, when we go to river, as the caller before said, the Kwaku, you go to riverside plenty. So we just do a whole bungle of it. And from we head go right down with us. At least we use it as a soap.
Yes,
right, you just clean it off proper.
Especially back to school time. You get your wash out inside and you get your Kwaku bath.
Yeah, man. Very, very good. Because the blueberry bush is very, very good. I never know that, and my grandma said it could sound like soap.
You know, Doc, you study these things. I'm always fascinated when I hear these stories to trace the origins and history of the usage. What led our forefathers to recognize these kinds of medicinal use of these plants? How did they stumble on it? What?
Yeah, oftentimes they stumble. You know, as humans, we observe. So we observe the animals. We observe the goats, we observe the cow, and if they eat it, we say, all right.
They use the
We
animals.
can eat it. Yes. So they watch the herbivores that we eat. The cow, the goat, the sheep. And they look at certain times when they eat it as well. So they realize, they're not eating it during this time of the year. So that means it poisonous or it tastes different. Again, it goes back to the compounds found in it. Because oftentimes it's seasonal. You have the compounds shifting shape, whether it's from acidic to alkaloid or, having a terpene shape.
Cliff.
Yeah.
As we go in the country and you're carrying out to go to morning time, you watch all the type of bush where you don't walk and pick. So that is the bush what you try to experiment on.
Yes.
And then you get what you want to get out of it.
Mother likes to think that he's way more intelligent than his predecessor, but it's the same clinical trials, It's the same clinical trials that are taking place. They try them, you try it on certain complaints and you see if it works or not.
Yeah, they say no. As scientists, we do experiments in the lab, but we have so many life experiences that show the uses of some of these plants. And then it worked, the taste, the effect it gave, and then you just pass on that tradition in your family.
Right.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have come to the end of the hour. Thank you very much, as usual, pharmacognosist Dr. Denise Daly. Thank you very much. This one learned a lot about Kwaku, the Kwaku bush. Yeah?
I'm telling you.
Wow.
I learned a lot, man.
Thank you.
Good night.
Thank you, Doc.
And thanks, of course, to our YouTubers, our listeners, our callers, and, of course, our WhatsAppers and our tweets. I'm Cliff Hughes.
I'm Tyrone Reed.
Reminding you, take care of your loved one and look out for your neighbor. Good night.
Good night.
The Police Civilian Oversight Authority